Here we go. All right, here we are. Woo! Okay. Yeah, we had some sort of difficulties, and I had to turn everything off and turn it back on again, and then launched it again and didn't play our really awesome opening, which I'm proud of, so that kind of sucks. So, yeah, whatever.
Oh, this has been the first time we played it, or no?
No,
we've played it.
I made just for Vaesen. The new thing, I think, premiered on our podcast.
On the last episode, Rainey put a little shout out to its the creator and played at the beginning of the last episode.
Yeah, in case you're not on our podcast, we have our own custom song now.
Made by humans.
Yes, not AI.
And it's really great. Yeah. I think it's only on podcast right now though.
Yeah. It is, yeah. We'll use it eventually for here.
Yeah.
It just it's not very Vaesen-y.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
I mean, it is a little like investigative-y, a little bit, but
it's like not like it's about 100 years after this.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It reminds me of the Pink Panther a lot. So like,
yeah, it is. Like,
it does. Yes. It's very Pink Panther-y.
So it's more that vibe. Investigative detectives.
Complete dumbasses who are about to burn this freaking poor little English Hamlet to the ground.
I am so in danger.
Yeah. So we're missing Troy, unfortunately, tonight. He can't make it, but I wanted to embarrass him in front of the world. Hero. But he's off being a hero. But anyway, happy birthday, Troy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Not here. Happy birthday.
So that means we get to make fun of him even more since he's not here on his birthday.
Oh my gosh, it's too bad we don't have an image of like Troy as a corn cob with like a birthday hat on it to put in his square.
Oh, it's like a little cone.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
He didn't give us enough time. He didn't give us enough time.
Enough warning or else we would have.
Nope. So I don't know. We don't have any announcements really, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Nothing's really going on.
All of our announcement people are like
coasting, being groovy.
The people who are organized and know what's going on are not here. Sarah hasn't been here for a little while. She's taking a little break. She's cool. She just needed to take precedence for a little bit. So
adulting, god damn it.
Wish her well. We'll have her back soon, hopefully. And Troy's off being a hero, so you're stuck with us four
assholes.
Assholes. Yeah, the assholes.
Jess, you're an honorary asshole now.
You are, Jess.
I just become an asshole.
Welcome, Jess. Welcome to the assholes.
Hey. Me and Kent are not assholes. I will say yes of Amber and Christian, but
I own it though. See, as soon as you accept it, life becomes great.
Kent's on the other side. Thank you.
Yeah, Kent's
on Team Wholesome with me.
I don't know about you.
What? I don't know. I can cross the road to assholedom.
Yeah, he can. Ken can go across the lines.
For sure. As much as I could, you know.
All right. What are we doing?
Welcome to our next, I've lost count, session of Vaesen.
We're in session 3.
Yeah. Third session
yeah.
of Vaesen.
I don't remember anything that has gone on, but I know what session we're on.
Yeah. And Christian, being the resident memorizer of what has happened last, is going to give a little recap.
Amber and I have an ancient pact because she recapped every single RuneQuest episode for a full year, so I owe her at least that. I have made no promises I'm going to get names right, but that's okay because neither did she. So we're on equal footing there.
To be fair, she only got like 2 names wrong.
Yeah, it's just fucking Laker and Clear, which is very funny because
they are a lot harder. That's true. Yeah.
The names are harder, so that's okay. So to recap,
everyone's just named Tom in this one. That's easy.
This is Tom, long Tom, short Tom, furry Tom, big Tom, little Tom, hairy Tom. So, to recap from the very beginning, we're all members of the London Society who investigates weird shit. I think it's not called the Artemis Society in London.
Apollonian.
It's called Apollonian Society.
Yeah, it's just easy to remember because of Artemis and Apollo.
Nice. I like it. So it's the Apollonian Society, Apollonia, in London, and we are members of that, although fledgling members, all of us. And something big happened back over in Uppsala, so they had to go back and figure that out, and they let us rookies handle this thing that's happening up in Gloucestershire. So
Gloucestershire.
So we took the train up and we began investigating, but long story short, the local sweethearts of the small town Brancombe had a little bit of a falling out at a May festival, and Daisy, the girl, was mad, ran off and never ran back, and was found absolutely torn up, and the boy was blamed. Yeah, and eaten. And the boy was blamed and stuck in the local jail. And that don't sit right around these parts. So the locals are pretty mad. They somehow sound like Southerners, even though they're from northwestern England, but we do the best we can. We are not a bunch of professional nerd voice actors playing D&D. We're just a bunch of professional assholes playing D&D.
Semi-pro assholes, even.
Semi-pro. I'm a pro. So we got there. We did some investigating. The first episode was us investigating the main town, where we unsuccessfully tried to get in and talk to the kid, but he's under very strict guard from the police, the popos. So we got into town last session, and Nora and Rosalie, which is Jess and I, we went out and we talked to the family of the boy, whose
Billy
name
Winchcombe. Billy
Winchcombe. Thank you. Yes. Perfect. So we talked to Billy's family. There you have an enchanting younger sister who told us all about how Daisy,
little Annie
knew that Daisy used to go up and see the Witching Stone near Old Meg's Holt, and kind of validated Rosalie's theory that Daisy probably hung around there because it's on her family's property, and probably tried to do something witchy when she was mad, and it backfired horrendously. Meanwhile, Riley went off very intelligently. We split the party, which is what all experienced role players do immediately. It's the perfect plan, really. It allows you to cover more ground and just solve a mystery so quick, and your DM hates it.
Faster, so
everybody who's never played role-playing games before, remember, split the party, because that's how you just solve these things real quick. Nothing is ever going to happen. Nothing's going to go wrong.
Nope.
So Riley hung out a little bit in town, met a hunter dude hanging out in the local watering hole, and Ronaldo went back to the main town to try to sweet talk his way into talking to Billy. Ronaldo succeeded some major ass role playing and is going to get to talk to Billy, although we're going to probably have to do that as a flashback because Troy can't make it tonight. Meanwhile, Riley, while he was in the watering hole, was ground zero, front and center for the fact that another child is missing. So he got swept up in the search party right away. And
little Emily, if I got the names correctly.
And so Rosalie and Nora were walking back to town where they kind of saw this, joined the search parties. We went to the farm where the house, the kid was like torn out of their little cottage, like the window frame and everything was like ripped out, and the grass was dead. And so Kent and the local hunter dude started tracking that. Rosalie and Nora saved the only nice cop's life in the area. Because he wound up to try to help, and the townsfolk weren't having none of it, and were on edge. And so we were kicking him with the cop back to. No, we were going to the church first to get the carriage to go into town to get help. Correct. That's what we're going to do.
Correct.
Meanwhile, Riley
somehow you have to not find Ronaldo there.
Yeah, somehow we have to. But yeah, maybe we'll change our minds to make this easier on you, Amber.
I mean, the Popo are like heavily guarding things. It's possible they'll see us and get and be like, "Get out, go away."
True. Or
like you again.
Or we can change our minds and just stay in town because there's no fans of cops. So maybe we'll just do that.
No, that's fair too.
We'll send him off to get help.
That's fair.
And we'll do local stuff.
That's fair. Yeah, we can do that.
Because the other detail is the festival of St. Bjorn is happening in a couple days. Mm-hmm. St. Bjorn is the guy who mythologically turned Old Meg into stone. And so that seems to have no bearing whatsoever on what we're trying to do here at all. And I'm sure it's just a minor detail.
Completely disconnected from the mystery.
Completely disconnected, random and minor detail, total red herring. But more importantly, with our cliffhanger ending, Riley and the hunter were following these patches of dead grass, almost as if something was perhaps jumping or stopping to rest and the grass was dying. And they went all the way up to Old Meg's Holt, the cave. And while they were up there, oh crap, that stone is gone. And that's where we left off. I think I remembered everything.
Yes, indeed. And that is exactly where we're going to pick up. Riley?
I am in danger.
You and Tom are standing at the top of Old Meg's Holt, facing the black opening of the cave that kind of goes farther into this little bit of hillside here. And the big round patch of disturbed earth where Old Meg evidently once stood, according to Tom. What do you do?
Well, we got we're here, we're trying to find this young girl, and this path has led up to the Holt. And lo and behold, Old Meg is gone, but there's still a missing girl, and Riley is unfortunately very adamant on finding this said child. He's gonna look at Tom because Tom pointed out that Old Meg was gone.
Yep.
And he's going to tell him, it's like, I think we should search the cave. Like,
he looks at you and his face has the tight drawnness of clear and evident fear and reluctance, but he sort of gives his hunting rifle a little check and kind of nods to you and looks toward the cave. Like, you're going first.
Yeah. Riley will undoubtedly and nervously very take the lead, and he'll start heading into the cave against all better judgment.
All right, you head toward the mouth of the cave. Along the path, you pass the hole where Old Meg used to stand. It is quite large. Wrong page. And it's about 3 feet in diameter, maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet deep.
I'm sorry, how many bananas is that? I'm an American.
How many bananas?
Yes.
Hang on. It's like 4 cats in diameter.
Wow, okay. 4 cats in diameter. That I can visualize.
It's like 4 cats.
I mean, I can visualize that. I just
Chunky
wonder
cats,
if 3 feet
like
is
American, like free-fed cats in diameter. And it's relatively fresh looking. There's no growth or anything coming up out of it.
Kind of does it look like freshly disturbed, like the
surface has dried a bit. It's not like freshly turned, not that fresh. The surface has like a little bit of a crust on it.
Yep.
But it's not old enough to have like kind of resumed the color of the local soil, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And as you're walking by there, you notice there are several footprints around both the hole where Old Meg once stood and the sort of general area around the Holt. Most of them are those very long human footprints with the extended toes and claw marks that you have been following from the window frame. They are kind of going in all different directions, and the footprints look to be sort of different ages. At this time, it looks like the creature has come and gone from here, paced, visited several times.
Okay. Sorry, one second. I'm just pulling up the book. There we go. All right, Riley with his he has a revolver. With his revolver drawn. He is going to slowly make his way into the cave.
As you get to the threshold of the cave, there is a large patch of very darkened soil, with several more footprints around it, including like booted shoe prints.
Booted shoe prints. Normal, like normal human size, kind of like
Yep, looks to be either a large woman or an adult man, kind of normal stature.
Okay.
You said several more?
So this is probably around the spot where what's her face was found. What's her name? Hold on,
Daisy?
I got it. Daisy. Daisy was found by
The two farmhands?
And her father.
and her father.
Oh,
Fred,
her
Rob,
father
and
was
Edwin.
there too?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So this is probably around where they found her lying.
Maybe do the footprints go into the cave at all, or do they
Or
look
they-
like they're
yeah, or
headed
they
in
just-
or out?
Around.
The booted prints do not enter the cave, no.
Okay.
And as you head into lead the way into the cave, revolver in hand, Tom kind of spares a glance for the patch of darkened earth.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Riley's going to carefully make his way into the cave. I'm going to make a stealth check.
All right, go ahead and give me that stealth check.
All right, let's see. I have stealth is precision. I have 1 in stealth and 3 in precision for 4 dice.
Just gonna follow your lead on that.
I did not make it, but I think I'm going to push this roll. I just want
Hot
to,
damn.
and I will be taking the mental condition frightened.
It is quite ominous.
So
Befitting.
pushing a roll, having failed the test, choose one, muster strength, blah, blah, blah. Suffer condition. And the condition doesn't affect the current roll, correct?
Correct, it does
It
not
does
affect
not.
the push roll.
Okay. All right, there we go. I got 1 6.
All right. You ease your way into the mouth of the cave. And one of the first things that you notice is that it slopes and it narrows rather dramatically after the first dozen feet or so. At one point, the cave just kind of has like this shrinking effect of going down a throat until you're in a part of the cave where the ceiling is maybe 2 long cats stacked on top of each other tall. Like it's like 3 feet tall. So you don't necessarily have to get on your belly and crawl, but hands and knees, or if you're very, very good at limboing.
So it'll be a low crouch, trying to get our way through this cave as quiet and stealthy as we can.
Right. You pick your way through. The floor is compact dirt, so it's kind of muffling sound nicely as opposed to like loose rock and scree.
That's good.
You pick your way back into the cave. It kind of curves a little tiny bit, narrows again, widens again. But there's not anything of interest that you've seen in it so far. No piles of bones, no objects left behind, no paintings or anything on the walls. You pick your way all the way to the back of the cave. It's about 30 feet deep, maybe. It's not a huge, extensive cave system, but you get to the back after a few kind of held breath moments. It gets quite dark in the back, even though it is just 30 feet because of the narrowing. In order to pick out any sort of fine details in the kind of last half of the cave after you go down that little throat hole, you will need a light source. Right now, it's kind of deep gloom and you're more feeling your way along than seeing anything.
Yep. I was just going to ask about that because I do not have any light source on me. Hopefully, Tom might, being a hunter in the area.
He's got matches.
I was like, I mean, hunters
As
hunt
you
in the
get
daytime, right?
into the darker part of the cave, you hear the strike of a match and smell that quick little sulfur burn. And Tom's got just the flashlight of a match lighting up there, burning down toward his fingers before he has to strike another. So, he says, there's not much in the cave, really. This stone was sort of the interesting part of the area. Looks
Yeah,
like
but
nothing's in here. He seems relieved by that.
Riley is too. He did not want to find the remains of a
8-year-old
child.
little girl. Yeah.
Or like at least a still alive little girl, but did not also want to encounter a witch. Actually, you know what? I just realized I could make a resource roll because that's how things work with
to have
resources.
Like a lighting source on hand
to have stuff like, yeah. Like maybe I had a
lantern.
A lantern, maybe, or maybe something a little bit better than just matches, maybe like an actual lighter.
What were lighters?
I was like, did they
lighters?
have lighters?
Lighters.
Look that up.
Lighters were invented before matches.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, it's a weird little thing that happened in society.
Huh.
That like matches came up after because it was the whole like packing the sulfur onto the end of a match. It was easier to create that like system of a lighter.
Like cheaper and more accessible.
Yeah. Let's just.
If you would like to do that for a more steady light source, you may do so.
Yes, let me do that. I have a resource of 2, so I get to roll 2 dice.
I was like, are you richer than all of us? No.
No.
No, he's
The
Irish.
answer
He's not
is
allowed
no.
to be.
Yeah.
In this
Aw.
time frame, that's a no if you're Irish.
We're
who's
just
rich
coming out of
Irish?
the famine.
Yeah.
No,
famine.
all the rich Irish were British lords.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Just missed. I got a 5.
All right, so no lighter
Worth a
on you.
try.
You're stuck with the matches there, but after a couple strikes of matches, it's clear there's no beings in this cave. Nothing is alive down here. Hard to make out if anything had left like small objects or anything behind because the light source is so poor. But you can try an investigation check. It's just
Yes, let me try that. So investigation is logic and investigation. Logic is my highest stat, which is 5. And I have 2 for investigation, giving me a total of 7. I got 2 successes.
2 successes. After a couple matches go off, you pick around the cave. Nothing big is in here. You do notice that there are like faint foot impressions in the dirt. Almost like it's more than actually even footprints. It's more of a walking path has been worn into the cave from somebody coming and going often. It does not have the heavy imprints or claw marks of the being that you have been following.
But more of like a local who has been coming.
Something like that.
Visiting
like
often.
Somebody visits the cave long enough that the kind of center, most likely and secure path has
been worn away.
Got some differentiation in it.
Okay.
And you find a couple apple cores.
Old.
Old. They're sort of dried up and withered. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll
or not apples because it's not apple season. Whatever the fuck is fruit is available right now. Cores.
Well, they could still. I mean, they could just be dried up down there, but like,
it's true.
They could be really old ones.
What are we in? Spring, summer? We're in summer.
We're in summer.
It's June. It's June. So yeah,
so just on the cusps of summer. I am out of touch with my produce.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think there are
here,
fruits aroundish here.
But all right, I'll turn to, or as in the area where I think Tom is if he's out of matches.
He's like
asparagus.
we're gonna have to hurry this
Chris
up.
Wynn says asparagus.
Oh yeah,
Just like-
asparagus comes up in like April, May.
So we're just sitting here just eating a raw asparagus.
Just like
and hanging out in
asparagus.
the game.
Yeah, just like the
Raw
stalks.
asparagus.
Just
Just
the
the
stalks are
very,
left.
very
Woody
ends.
ends.
Yes. Perfect.
The whole place smells suspiciously of asparagus pea.
Ew.
Yeah, I'll tell him. So let's get out of. All right, we can't find it. I can't find anything here. Like, luckily, we can't find anything here.
He's happy to lead the way back out.
Yep.
And as soon as he's back coming out of the larger mouth of the cave, he gets his like rifle back
Yep.
back at the ready there. And you emerge from the cave undestroyed.
Yay! Not killed.
Pretty shaken though. It's kind of nerve-wracking going down a small dark hole when, some sort of terrifying witch or the body of a mutilated child might be on the other side.
Freaking scary
much
going
so.
down in a cave without
Very
that
much
stuff
so.
being real.
Yep.
Yeah, some fucking cavers are crazy. They're like, there's this little hole. I'm gonna have to wedge my way through it. It's and like you go arms up like this, like
I've seen. Do you
die.
ever just see the guy who died? Do you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about?
and they just
I-
left
I
him there. They
just-
couldn't get him
I
out.
just see
Yep.
that picture and I have like anxiety because I have like extreme claustrophobia. I'm just like,
I've seen
I-
that diagram. Yeah, like why?
yeah.
No.
Why would you ever even I wouldn't even try to do that. I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I'll see you guys out here. Like, catch you when you come out, bros.
I
I'm not
just
going
saw
in
a thumbnail of a caver who was just like, I accidentally crawled into a nest of spiders, and I'm just like, nope.
And then it's then they're the ones who are cave divers. So
Yep.
it's do all the awful stuff that a cave
But
does
also be
but do it
underwater.
underwater where you have limited supply of oxygen, so you can
Mhm.
die.
Oh, that
Quicker.
seems at least that actually seems better to me.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's
That seems
no.
better to me. It's
It's
definitely more
People-
dangerous,
People
but
get stuck,
yeah, you
and
get
then they
stuck.
die before rescue can get to them.
Well,
for
there's
sure.
also parts of the cave where you have to take off of your apparatus and go through go through that portion
Yeah,
without
hold your breath.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, and
But-
it's really easy to get disoriented underwater and
for
to go
sure.
into false chutes. Like people
sure.
die in the false
sure.
tubes all the time.
For
Yep.
sure.
Yeah.
Still less scary to me. I don't know.
Oh no, that's even worse to
Yeah.
me.
I
That's
don't know.
you can light me on fire.
I
before
wouldn't
you
do
ever
either.
convince me to do that.
I wouldn't do either, but still less scary.
Light
to
me on fire.
UK summer fruits. Gerbo here with some info. UK info for us.
Yes,
Berries,
My favorite
cherries.
thing of Vaesen is learning
Okay,
all the stuff
berries.
about food that we're learning.
cherries,
Okay.
cherry pits. That
Yeah,
works.
There you go.
rhubarb
Sure.
and
These are a really good
blackcurrants.
one. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
rhubarb.
Rhubarb pie. Ooh.
Love
Some
rhubarb.
dried cherry pits
Me
and
too.
stems.
I'm changing my notes now to dried cherry pits.
We're we're editing as Gerbo helps us limp through this adventure.
So we'll I'm gonna take one last look around the area to see if there's any other signs.
Go for it.
Do another investigation. I got another 2 successes to kind of just search the area, see if I missed anything before.
When you're looking back near the hole where Old Meg once stood, there's another smaller patch of disturbed soil that looks unusual to you, kind of next to the hole, like very close to it. It looks like something like rope or a plant or something was pulled up from the soil in that spot.
Thomas, did the stone of Old Meg, was there a rope tied around it?
No, not that I'm aware of.
It looked like there was something, then maybe something was buried next to it that kind of looks like it got I'm gonna kind of dig into this hole a little bit.
You find some remains of roots. They're not completely dry or they're not super old dead yet.
Roots. Let me make a learning check to see if I can identify this.
I don't know if you'll. I mean, you never know. I guess.
As much as a country lad that Riley
feel like
is,
a lot
he
of
is
roots-
fairly.
He's Irish,
like,
so he knows his
roots look
roots.
the
He's gonna be
same,
like,
don't
this
they?
is not a potato.
Like, don't all roots look the same, just like thicker or thinner, though?
Yeah, that's how you tell.
Most roots, yes, do look very similar. I don't know
Yeah.
that you would be able to tell them apart.
Or
through
just like
Yeah.
scraggly,
without
sting.
a greater
with-
scientific investigation.
Yeah, it'd also be like kind of
Sure, it's
checking
not
with
a
the other
potato.
plants in the area and kind of being like, oh, like this was over here. But I did not get anything. I got 3s, 2s, and 1s.
You're like,
Not meant
roots.
to be.
Looks like a
Roots.
plant was pulled up.
Yeah.
So could be.
The roots are fairly, they were fairly like kind of deep, extensive, and some of them were good sized. It wasn't a
Mhm.
tree or anything, but it was like a well-rooted plant.
I'll ask Tom for his opinion on the local flora. I'll just say it's like, oh, hey, no, like this actually looks like it was a plant that was kind of maybe buried next to growing next to the rock. Was there something?
There might have been a bush here. I don't usually hunt out on this part. It's the Winchcombes farm, but I think there were some hedges or bushes next to the stone.
Was it the Winchcombes farm or was it the?
Nope, sorry, Thomas
Yeah.
farm.
Thomas farm.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's a dog.
Next to the Thomas farm, yeah.
Okay. I don't know. We'll have to. Unfortunately, we kind of hit a dead end up here. Maybe if we head a little bit further west, we might be able to find something.
He gives a nod and starts combing the ground for you. Gets a good spread apart and
I
starts looking for a trail.
I think with that, we can cut away from us because we'll
Keep combing the land with other search parties.
Yeah.
Eleanor and Rosalie.
Yeah. So this is more meta. I have a note from last time. I don't know if we have enough information right now to send word back to the Apollonian for like more research or whatever, or more books about witches or whatever it is we're dealing with. I don't know if we have that much more information from when we left, though.
I mean,
I don't know.
You can ask for anything that you'd like, whether or not they have it, whether or not it will arrive in time, whether or not it is in
that's
fact
the thing,
relevant.
'cause it's like
It all depends.
we got the way I see it, speaking in the meta capacity,
Yeah.
we got 3 days before this shit like comes to a probably very bloody head. So
Yeah, but we also don't know how to deal with a witch if we do find one. Do you know what I mean?
So
probably
because it also was only it was only a day's ride, a train ride here. Like a book could get to us in time.
Yeah, so we'd have to probably, speaking in my capacity of having written Call of Cthulhu and Gaslight, there wasn't a telegraph place here because this is too small. So we probably have to go back to the main
town with the
No. We're heading to the church anyways. I was just thinking of giving him a letter to send off to.
I mean, you can have the officer bring something back.
Have the officer take a telegraph, right? Send a telegraph to the Apollonian Society.
Yeah.
We probably got, it would probably be like a day to get a response.
Yeah.
So, but that's worthwhile.
I just don't even know if we really have that much more information. I guess witches. We didn't do any research on witches.
Well, we do have a little bit of info that we could probably look up, and I'm not sure how much it would be here, but we could potentially, if someone has written a biography of Saint Byrnus.
What's the name of the chapel here? The church?
Church of Saint Byrne.
That's where it would be if it was anywhere. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
like a biography about Saint Byrnus. I'm like, you are at his church.
That's true. That is true.
Okay, that's fair. We can.
I would also was thinking like because he did something. He did something like he petrified a witch. Like the Apollonian Society would have gotten at least a copy of his biography if that mentioned it too. So, but it could be in the church. It should be in the church here too.
Okay. I mean, we can do both. Maybe we can send word back with the just for anything around like witches and crop circles and that sort of thing and kind of petrification. And we can ask the vicar too, because he did some research on Stonehenges and he certainly must know the history.
Yeah, so
of
maybe that's what we'll
Empire.
do. And that's a good way of getting rid of the cop too.
Yeah, you should not be here.
No.
Get rid of the law.
Mostly because he's probably going to die either by Rosalie or the
people.
No, Rosalie actually likes this one. She tried to help him.
Yeah.
She's like, this man is about to be torn apart by an angry mob.
Yeah.
That I'm not a part of. He needs to leave.
She made an exception for this cop.
No.
All right, you two are heading back to the church.
Yes.
At a good clip. Young girl is missing, and Constable Moore is out of the hustle there. If there's nothing you want to talk about with him on en route, you will arrive at the church in just a few minutes.
Yep. Nope. It's really just the girl has gone missing. Like they should release Billy. Like if there's any proof that he had nothing to do with this, he has been locked up. They might need help with the search party. So any extra hands will be helpful, and we'll send him off with a letter if he does not mind.
He's like, I'm definitely not going to be able to get Billy out of jail.
You can send on the evidence and the word at least.
About
I would just think that if somebody
another girl has gone missing.
Another girl has gone
Just
missing
further
out of her
evidence
home,
that
I
maybe
don't
Billy
see how
didn't do
that
this.
couldn't possibly exonerate Billy because another girl went missing. I mean, how could you fail to see the logic in that, officer?
I'm not an investigator. I'm gonna go back and get as many hands as we can to find the girl.
All right, fair.
I'm just asking you to pass on information. I'm not trying to get you to. I'm not expecting Billy to come
said
free.
if you can get Billy out of jail.
Yes, yeah, I
You just said
understand.
that.
I understand. By like,
He's saying like I definitely can't do that.
yeah,
All
but is
I
he?
can do.
I understand, but is he not going to tell the investigator at all further details of what happened?
Like he's gonna say that a girl has been pulled out of her window.
Okay, all right.
Like what other evidence is there? Like a girl is missing.
A girl is missing, but it's also a girl is missing under like really strange circumstances, like an animal
that
attacked
she
the
was
claw
torn
marks.
out of her
Yes, correct.
home. Yeah, he saw the
That
window.
there are like
he's gonna say
footprints.
that.
There are like creature
he see the
footprints
window?
leading away.
Nope. Only
No, he did
Riley
not.
saw the footprints.
He did not. Yeah, he did not see the window. But
No, I saw the footprints. I think
Riley saw the footprints. He saw the condition of the window, which was very concerning and immediately alarming.
Okay.
the officer saw the window
Okay.
or lack thereof. I should.
Correct.
All right, well,
We are
so
telling
I will-
him about the footprints and the
Yes.
window.
Did you have a huddle with Riley?
Yes, because I said,
Okay.
Riley, you're going off to
We-
track this. Are you okay?
We saw the footprints though, because I remember
Yes.
I inspected.
Yeah, I forgot.
So,
Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't remember
yeah,
if
we
you
were
had
there.
huddled or if he just went off or not.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did,
I
so.
kind of stopped people from trampling the area too.
Yes, I do
Yes.
remember that.
So
I
just
do remember
to-
that. You're like, you're stepping on the
Yes.
evidence.
So just not to clarify. So to clarify, I'm not trying to get him
People back
to
up.
convince the investigator I'm not expecting Billy to show up outside of jail, but I would like him to pass on the important information of the details here to the investigator is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he says, of course, I'll tell him everything I know.
Okay.
Would you
He's
be
like,
a dear and send a telegram for us too?
Do you have it ready? I mean,
Yes, I think so. Nora, something to the society.
Yes. Yeah,
We
I
don't
think
have
that's
it.
a good
We
idea.
clearly don't have it ready. I'll just dash something off real quick where it's just like need information concerning witches turned to stone, specifically Old Meg. What happens when they come back? And just
what happens when they come back?
Just say,
It's so
fold it up
alarming.
and give it to him.
Like, what happens when witches that have been turned to stone come back?
They are not happy. It's International Women's Day, and they are.
What do they do
pissed.
with children?
Oh, dude! It's International Women's Day, and Old
It
Meg is
is,
back, and she's pissed. Happy International Women's Day, by the way. But
The
yeah,
International Women's
I
Day
think
opens back.
I think possibly also like witches turning into creatures, perhaps too.
mm.
What kind of creature that they could turn into?
the
anything like
transformative
that.
power of witches.
Yes, in general.
Sure.
Are you writing this like in an envelope and like sealing it, or
Yeah, so I'll write it on a piece of.
Yeah.
I'll write it
is
on
he
a piece
gonna
of
like
paper.
see this?
No.
No,
It should be
I
a
will write
closed
it.
letter addressed
Yeah, and then just kind of like
to
seal it up and give it
what
to him.
was his name?
You want him to send that as
Butler?
a telegram or by
I'm going to send it as a telegram because
Well, he would have to.
But I'm going to fold it up and just ask him to give it to the
to the
telegram person.
telegram dude.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
the
I'll give-
telegrapher, the telegrapher, I don't know what they're called.
The guy.
The guy.
The guy.
And,
The dude with the beepy thing.
Yeah, the beeper.
Yes.
And I will give him, whatever, like, postage, whatever.
Here's a couple
Give him a
bucks.
couple coins. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. He says I'll drop it off on my way.
Thank you so much.
Keep looking. I'll be back as soon as I can.
We will. Thank you.
And he fucking starts running.
I mean,
Goes
good
off
on,
running toward Annensburg.
good on him. Time is of the essence. I thought he was
he's a
going to
good
take borrow a horse, but okay.
The vicar. I mean,
Yeah.
the vicar has a horse and wagon at his disposal.
Yes.
I will just.
That's where I
commandeer that
thought
and
we
give it to him.
went
Yeah.
to write the letter.
To get
I thought.
Yeah.
okay, so that makes sense as opposed to writing on someone's back, right? So
Oh no, I just assumed that's where we were headed. Yeah.
the vicar is there when you all burst in.
In that case, wait, did we give him the wagon? Because I'll just explain the situation. The way vicar should
Yeah,
probably-
Yes.
if you enter the thing and Edgar sees you, he's like, "What has happened?" And you're all like, "Emily's gone
Emily
missing."
has gone missing. A
Yeah.
And
creature
the
has taken
constable's
her.
like, "I'm gonna go get more men from Annensbury for the search." And he's like, "Oh my god, take my horse."
Yes, yeah, exactly. Perfect.
And
This
then
is
that
what
is
we're
what
trying to
happens.
accomplish. Yes.
Correct. Yes. All right. He will leave with the vicar's horse at all due haste, with your telegram in hand.
I do like that good on him for the effort of running though.
I was like, he was just gonna
Just
But now he's just like, and now he's riding away quickly.
Right.
yes,
And
yes.
then
Good,
he
good on him.
runs
I
Where?
appreciate that time of year.
Rosalie looks at Nora and goes, I like that one.
I'm surprised. I didn't think that there would be a cop out there that you liked, from what I hear.
Not usually, but this one seems okay.
This one tries really hard.
Yeah, he tries.
Almost got stoned to death by an angry mob. Edgar is like Edgar kind of like grabs his overcoat and he's like, where are the search efforts? Do you know if there are any parties that need another hand, or should we go off on our own?
Yes, well, everybody's off at towards Old Meg's. And yes. I think if you want to join them, you could head out west. But do you think you could loan us the use of your library specifically?
It's like, yes, of course.
It's
It's right this way, and he leads you quickly to like the little. It's
I
like
think
his
just,
study
you know,
/ library.
Two little old women aren't going to do anything to help anybody out there, but we can probably maybe do a little more here. Researching.
Looking at you, and you can tell that he's like, he knows irony when he hears it, or like sarcasm. He's like, he's not gonna argue with you, but he looks at you like, I don't know about that look, but yes, you may use the study.
I'll give him a little bit of the eye to know that I was like totally like, yeah, I was full of it. Yeah.
He's like, there are church records over here, on this side, baptisms, marriages, all of that over here. Here are
Where are the things about specifically Saint Martin Van Buren? That's why I said Martin. For my brain was like Martin Van Buren.
I mean, Rosalie, if there's something that you're looking for in particular, I'm sure Edgar is probably the expert on it. We could just also ask him than having to comb through hundreds of books. I'm sure he's read much of the stuff here.
You're interested in St. Biron and Old Meg.
Yes. Specifically how he turned her to stone in those circumstances.
I actually I've been planning to write a parish history, and I haven't really gotten far along in it, but I've compiled a lot of notes and research over here. And he goes to like a shelf and he pulls down a big like leather folio. These are all the details I found through the records and requested tomes from like the Annensbury Library.
Perfect.
About the history of the parish. There's a whole section on St. Biron.
Perfect. That is.
Wonderful.
It's
Thank you
at
so
your
much.
disposal.
I will
what we're looking for.
probably want to pick your brain too, but maybe later.
And he's like, all right, is there anything else I can do to help you?
No, I can see you're very anxious to tend to, well, your parish. You should go and do that. Don't worry about us. We will see you later.
Just don't go out alone, Edgar.
I will not. I will take
Find
due
a party.
caution.
Yes.
And then he kind of gives like a nod. He's very shaken up by this, and he leaves quickly. And then out the window, you see him running.
The Amber running animation
he
is
finds like the
next
nearest
thing we
people
need.
that are running, that are kind of moving about. And he's like, "Where are we looking?" All right, yeah, you two are left to your own devices in the little office/library at the parish. He's handed you the big old folio of his compiled notes to help him write this parish history that he's been working on.
Do you
And there
want
are
to take some?
many
and I'll
other
take
books
some.
on the shelves.
Sure. Yes.
I'll
sure.
just split the pile.
All right. So these take. I think it's going to be a learning test, but let me double check. Yeah.
Help with look stuff up. Oh, I got learning right here. Measures your education, ability to establish connections through logic and knowledge. Need to know something about what's in front of you. This actually may be an investigation check. Yeah, let me just
Yep. Oh,
use
here it is.
learning to
Learning or investigation.
Yeah.
Is the test here.
Oh no.
All right, so we're doing investigation. I'm sorry.
Or
I
learning.
spaced out for a minute.
Or learning
Either
is
one?
your choice.
Yeah.
They're the same for me. I suck really bad.
I got one success.
Okay.
Only one.
All right. You're peeling through these notes, Rosalie. And he's got all
Unless
kinds
you
of
want to
stuff. You're like,
push,
"Oh, this is
Rosalie."
very boring.
I'm wondering if I should push.
I mean, it's a pretty big one.
It would be a
I'm
big
gonna
one, yeah.
push. I'm gonna push. I'm gonna push with taking the physical exhaustion.
So this would be mental because
So it has to
you're
be mental. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're using a mental skill.
I will take.
Rosalie would be angry with this.
Yeah, I'll take angry. I'll get pissed off if I can't find it. That's perfect.
Very annoyed at all this, like boring
Yeah,
church
that's
stuff.
very on character. Hey, 2 successes, worthwhile.
Nice.
But
2
I still get the
successes.
condition, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So you hear Rosalie's just man in his ridiculous handwriting and she, yeah.
Eleanor, you are paging through the documents, some of the books on the shelves, when you're looking through one particular book, The History and Traditions of Gloucestershire. And you do find a section in that book on Saint Biren. And it does say, basically, while converting the pagan Anglo-Saxons of the area, the saint battled an evil witch and turned her to stone by the power of his prayers. It doesn't really say anything else on the matter, though. So there's that little detail there. In another book, The Monuments and Antiquities of Gloucestershire, there's an archaeological survey that the county had published about 20 years ago. And it includes a map of the cave and its surroundings with the location of the standing stone marked. And a brief description of the stone. A single standing stone about the height of a man, typical of those found in upland areas across England and Scotland, and generally ascribed to the Neolithic era. No trace was found of any circle or other arrangement of stones of which the stone might formerly have been a part. That's all that really says there, but you find those two like little specific things that talk about Old Meg and St. Biren in particular in those wider tomes. Rosalie, you're going through Edgar's notes, getting frustrated with this stuff and everything. You're like, I don't understand how this can be the passion of this man's life.
Yeah, and it's probably like it's so-and-so married
like,
so-and-so, and I'm like,
your brain's melting out of your ears.
Yep.
You're like, he was a college, he went to a prestigious university as a man of learning, and then he decided to come here with that. Do this, like, but as you're going through his notes, you can't help but notice that he's very thorough, he's very organized, very detailed, and among the notes for the parish history and the documents that he has compiled, there are several maps of the area, both Brandcombe and the surrounding areas. And you see on the maps, like, you see like the Winchcombe farm area, you see Old Meg's Hole, you see the Thomas area, and you know of the two, you know of at least two locations of the cattle killings, I think. One was on the Winchcombe farm, and the other, you know, was on, there was cattle killed on the Thomas farm, along with where Daisy was found dead. And like it occurs to you that it's starting to make like a loop toward Brandcombe, crossing the river, coming closer, and it just, the thought occurs to you that you wonder where those other killings might have taken place, and if they kind of follow that path that is starting.
Is the I'm not looking at this, but is the bridge where that fellow died or was found, is he kind of anywhere on that path?
No, he's much closer to the
Gotcha.
Brandcombe.
Okay. And is not Daisy, is Emily's house in Brandcombe anywhere?
It is closer to Brandcombe than both the Winchcombes and the Thomases. So the Thomases farm is the farthest attack that you know of. The Winchcombes farm is a little bit closer. And Michelle and Emily's house is even closer.
Okay. Thank you.
They seem to be getting closer. I wonder.
Oh, Michelle and Emily aren't in Brandcombe. They're just outside of it.
They're a part of the
closer.
Village technically, but they are like on the outskirts.
Gotcha.
Of the village versus the little like town square kind of area.
I wonder, Nora, do you know where any of the other animal killings occurred? And I'm going to spread the map out, and I'm going to look around and see what I can find. Maybe he has like, does he have like little statues of saints? That would be perfect. I don't know if the Anglicans had them. No, let's say he has a chess. This is even better. He has a chess set. And I'm just like, so here's the Daisy farm. Here's Daisy's farm.
I have the sheep were killed in the northern passes.
Yeah, I'm just going to put like a pawn in each one I know about. And I'm like, I wonder where the other ones were.
Yeah, I just have the sheep were found dead in the northern passes.
We should find someone to ask. What's the name of the old lady who works here?
Mrs. Hopper.
She probably is. Is she still around? Is she out searching, or is she still around?
That is a great question. You did not see her on your kind of like rush into here, but you've kind of sequestered yourself in the vicar's little library, and you haven't come out since yet.
I'm gonna go out and see if she's about.
Rosalie, as you get up and you're like, I'm gonna go see if Mrs. Hopper's around. You open the door, and Mrs. Hopper kind of like jolts with a little start, and she starts like wiping a wall quickly.
Oh, Mrs. Hopper, how wonderful that you're here. Do you mind coming in for a second?
She's like, oh, does the vicar know that you're in here?
Oh, of course, I have full permission.
She looks at you like she's suspicious of that, but what can I help you with? Are you looking for some tea or some lunch, or?
I have a question. Perhaps some tea afterwards, though. And scones. But no
with marmalade.
So I understand that. I'll just point out, like, a sheep was found here, and a sheep was found here, and little Emily, hopefully she's okay, but she was taken from here. Where were the other sheep? Do you know where those locations were, where they were found?
I know one of them was found about here on this farm, and it's a point between the Winchcombes and Michelle's. Michelle's is closer, the Winchcombes is farther. But the other sheep is about there, and she's like, and I think there were maybe 2 or 3 more from the rumors that I heard, though I'm not quite sure whereabouts on the properties they were found, but they were on this farm and this farm here. The other one I couldn't quite tell if they meant it was this farm or this farm with what I had heard. Sometimes people get facts mixed up, but with all the yammering.
Oh, I know,
and whatnot.
Of course. Yes.
But the other 2 farms that she's pretty sure that they were found on, they're the general area of the farm, if you're assuming a certain amount of pasture land and stuff, could overlap kind of in that arc. It's not a straight line exactly. Like it's kind of like, this one's a little bit to
but
the
she's
left, a little bit to the right and stuff.
gradually-
But they are in a
Progressing.
pattern that is coming closer and closer to Brandcombe.
Yeah. Oh dear. Okay. Thank you so much.
She's like,
And-
I heard that a girl had gone missing. Is it
Emily.
little Emily? Oh,
Yeah.
oh dear,
Our,
Michelle's girl.
Yeah. Our associate Riley is out looking with the other men. And well, we're just trying to make sense of it all.
Oh, how terrible. How terrible. What terrible times for Brandcombe. Oh, Lord. Well, I'll be saying extra prayers. Little dear's found soon.
I think we all might need to.
I'll bring some tea.
Thank you.
And she kind of like tuts off, seeming genuinely upset by the thought of the little girl.
Yeah,
having
of
gone
course.
missing.
Who wouldn't be?
Yeah.
Who did you find anything, Nora?
Nothing really. Just I get the sense Stonehenges are typically found in like a circle, right? With many other Stonehenges. This one was a solo situation. And it looks like the only thing that's in the record here is that Saint Bjorn prayed a lot, and that's what defeated the witch.
I wonder if we could find out what prayer he said.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Right. I will leave you folks continue to parse through the material. There's still a bit more to go through in the time, and Mrs. Hopper does bring in some tea and some biscuits and whatnot for you. Every time she stops in to check on you, she sort of looks at what books you're looking at and your maps and stuff. And then kind of like tuts off, and she says every visit or two, she comes in probably once or twice an hour as you guys are pouring through the study to see what's going on. Then always says something like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a little stop by the grocer and see if he has any news on Emily," and sort of out and back and forth and about asking people things and stuff. Riley,
Yes.
you and Tom continue a search pattern of your own. In the distance, you can hear like the calls and stuff of other search parties, the echo of like Emily being the name Emily, like being called through the hills and pastures. Emily, Emily. There's at least half of the town, if not more, has been fully mobilized and is like roving and yelling and searching. And you are a part of that.
Yes.
I am going to take what did I use for tracking last time? Was it investigation?
I think it was investigation. I believe it was
I think so. Yeah, or vigilance maybe, but it's probably investigation.
Here, let's see what the thing says. Vigilance to notice someone sneaking up on you, person doing the sneaking.
Yeah, it's probably
Furthermore,
not that.
vigilance can be used to interrupt situations you are monitoring. So it's probably more investigation.
Investigation, yeah.
Search a room, understand what happened at a crime scene, examine the body, find what is obscured.
Yep, we'll take an investigation test from you, Riley.
Okay. And I do have a condition which minuses 1 die, which puts me down to 6.
Okay.
Oof. 2 5s.
Wow, you keep rolling
No
a lot of
6s.
5s.
Lots of 5s. If only
Yeah,
5s
5s.
did something.
No 6s. All right, you're out combing. You're getting farther and farther away from Brandcombe proper. Tom has a pretty good knowledge of the lay of the land. He hunts these areas and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, like up in here, there's like a steep bank that would be a good hiding spot for a child if she might have gotten separated from whatever took her." Like, and he's just throwing out ideas and stuff about where something might have dragged a child or a child might have ran to if she managed to pull away. And you're searching the different areas and whatnot, coming up with nothing. You haven't seen any more of those strange tracks for quite some time. You're sort of cutting across some open pasture land of one of the many outlying farms. You can see the flock of sheep just sort of milling about in the distance, eating grass, hanging out. And all of a sudden, like there's a high pitched, like just animal like bleating of like fear, and you can see that the flock of sheep they suddenly move, like the whole flock just shifts, sort of running in terror. And at first they move as one, and then they sort of burst apart and scatter. And they are running and screaming. The lambs are screaming.
Screaming lambs.
The lambs are screaming,
Riley.
Clarice.
You'll hear the lambs.
And it sort of startles Tom too. He like jolts and looks up on that sort of hill that is risen up, so you can see that whole spread of the flock there, running about. And then he just looks at you.
I'll just that doesn't look good, but should probably check it out.
A predator.
Yeah. Can I make a vigilance test to see if I can spot something amongst the herd?
Sure.
All right. Vigilance would be a 5. Roll for me. 3 6s.
Wow.
3 6s. Hot
Damn.
damn. There is something there. It is not a creature or a being. But there's a large patch of whiteness on the ground that at first looked like more sheep, but as the sheep scatter and spread, the white patch on the ground remains still.
Oh shit.
Shit. I'll point it out to Tom. It's like that that white patch doesn't look like does it look like
What is that?
Is it frost?
It does have a glittery quality to it. It could be. Something that probably would not occur to just about anyone in the middle of June to think that it might be, but the thought having occurred to you, it doesn't not look like frost or snow.
Yeah. That it being with them they're in the mindset, it's like, oh, it's summer. It's like I'm coming into the area, it's just like, oh yeah, they've had bouts of frost in the area, and I'm just like, could that be just like a quick patch of frost that somehow? And I'll wave to Tom and say we should probably hurry over there.
He slings his rifle back and
jogs
with you toward the mysterious white patch. And as you draw closer, you are almost certain that it is snow or ice. A kind of very sharp and sudden change in the wind brings like a biting cold breeze to you. Your skin immediately bumps like with Goop's flesh. You see your breath kind of whisked away in the wind, and then bop, 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 bop. Small kind of M&M-sized stones of hail start falling. Tom was like, what the fuck? He was like, what in God's green earth?
Ooh, that's
Not green anymore.
not.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, not so green right now. Are we like right upon the patch, or are we still a little bit of ways away?
You're close enough that you are certain it is snow. You're not close enough to yet like touch it. You've got another 20, 30 feet to go.
Okay. Yeah, this will luckily being small bits of hail, like not quite a deterrent to leave the area so far. So
it's not doing any damage to you. It's just really fucking weird.
Yeah, weird. Just like
and they're starting to like.
Were there any clouds in the sky?
Just kind of stray summer fluffy white clouds. Nothing storm-like.
All right, so this is.
And there still are no clouds in the sky right now. There's hail falling, and you don't know where it's coming from.
Yep, it's one of those weird
He says, I never
Weird.
really believed in witches. Maybe I was wrong.
Well, let's I'm still hoping that it isn't,
Excuse me.
but taking out my revolver again.
Tom just starts shooting the snow with his rifle. Like,
Safer than
just
sorry.
unload into the snow. There's a little snowman there, like,
Oh, Amber.
he's fucking wrecked.
Who's the guy from Frozen? The little snowman pops up.
Olaf.
Oh, Olaf.
You reach
Wait,
the patch of
everyone.
snow, and it is a mixture of snow and hail. It looks like it's a mound rather than a patch.
Mhm.
It's a mound?
It is a mound.
Oh God, something's under that mound.
Mm.
Mm,
Oh, I didn't even think of that. I was
yeah.
thinking of almond joys.
Because the sheep scattered from this area, were they like standing in? Can we see like there's like tracks of snow and sleet coming away from the
So there are no tracks in the surface of it.
Yep.
But there are depressions as if it has re-snowed on top of tracks, and you
Yep.
can see like kind of drag marks and spill marks coming out of the
Yes.
mound as if like
Mm,
they had gotten away from it
Scattered.
quickly
Yep.
and dragged it with them, and then more
Okay.
continued to fall on top of it.
Weird.
And it's like
And they're
it's like,
fucking gone now. The sheep
yeah,
are
they're just like
gone.
gone.
They didn't
They're,
like move away from the snow and start eating it. They're just gone.
They're kind of how tall is the mound in like the middle, or is it just like a
The mound is like a good 2.5 feet tall in the middle.
okay?
Tom looks at it almost like he's not believing what he's seeing, and then he reaches out and like grabs like a handful of the snow.
Yep.
And it's just fucking snow, man.
Yep.
With like little balls and chunks of hail in it. He's like, this isn't possible.
Things seem to lean towards the impossible every day for me these days. I'm going to start stalking into towards the middle of the mound.
You wade in through it, and it's fucking deep snow. Your boots sink into the snow. How tall are your boots?
My boots, I'm probably in like a summer boot, so they're probably
You're wearing like ankle
Summer
boots
boot?
type sort of thing.
whatever
No.
like a summer country boot would be. Well,
Who has
it's not. I
like
wouldn't be.
boots?
no, like ankle
like
boots.
calf
He
length,
means like
right?
ankle boots. Yeah.
Well, there's also like
Depends.
a lighter style of boot. Like it's
Yeah.
not going to be a winter like
Yeah,
winter
it's not a winter
like
boot.
this.
I understand.
So
All right. They're probably on too good for the snow to pull your shoes off, but
yeah, okay.
you like sink down like to your knees in the snow as you wade to the middle. Can't really tell what's under it. The snow compacts under your shoes versus you actually hitting the ground directly,
Mhm.
but you don't bump into any objects or anything in your wading.
Is the hail still coming down, or is it
The
kind
hail
of
has
like
stopped at this point. It kind of fell steadily for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, and then stopped. And the cold wind has stopped as well. It's like warm. You feel the summer mug and heat
yep?
closes in back around you, even though you're standing knee deep in snow.
Around the middle, Riley's going to he's going to dig around into the middle to see if he can find anything in it. I'll make a investigation. Right, 5. Yep. -1 for my condition. 3 6s again.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
6s. All right. That's pretty damn good. So the needle in this haystack, so to speak, is a child's stocking.
Mm,
The heels and the kind of ball of foot has all been like torn out, and it's ragged and muddy and splotched with blood.
mm.
I'll show it to Tom and say, well, we found something, but Does it look?
He curses. He's like, Jesus Christ. And then he crosses himself.
Does it
and
look
he's
like
like, Emily.
the like the heel and like ball of the foot has been torn from the girl running?
Either running or her feet dragging on the dirt, sort of thing. It would have.
Okay.
It's consistent with either of those. It's as opposed to having caught on something and ripped, it has been worn off.
Okay.
By friction.
I'm gonna take that into account and to have Tom start looking for more tracks, like maybe some drag tracks, or it looked like she was dragged.
Starts going out in a circle around the snow looking for something, anything.
Yep. And I'll start doing the same. I'll get out of the snow and start doing the same. 1-6.
Nothing. Just the mound of snow and a child stalking. In this bare field, just nothing but trampled grass, sheep droppings. That's it. It is getting later in the day at this point. It's probably 4-ish in the afternoon. You're coming up on time when most folks would be heading inside and making dinner. Still several hours of daylight left, but you and Tom at this point have been out at it for many hours, along with all of the other search parties that you've been spotting on different ridges or valleys, depending on where you've been, doing their best as well.
Yep.
And in this moment, holding this just wet, cold child stocking, the hours of daylight remaining seem very, very short to you.
Quick question to probably to my, thing, because this was a supernatural event of some sort. Should I have made a fear test?
Not at this time. Nope.
Okay.
Not yet.
Look at you offering fear tests.
I will get
I know.
You yet.
Look at you offering fear tests. No, Kent.
I know, but
Back over to the vicarage.
It just kind of like popped into my head. It's like, oh, we just saw this like mound of snow basically like appear out of fucking nowhere. Like, I'm already frightened. Like, I don't know how Tom's feeling.
No, Tom was frightened way earlier. He saw the thing was missing and he was like, okay.
Yeah, he was already.
It's like, fuck that.
Yeah. Okay.
Back at the vicarage, you and Rosalie and Nora, you've been at your researching for several hours. You've gone through what you feel is a fair amount of the material, and the relevant bits that you've gathered were what I have previously given you through the maps and just those 2 little bits there. And it's getting later. The sounds of people calling for Emily, which at first, when you first started researching, you could hear in the distance every now and then for about an hour, 2 hours. You haven't heard them in a long time. And the thought just comes to you that it's been quite a while. You look at the empty teacups. You've gone through 3 or 4 cups of tea at this point. And all the cries have stopped, which means that the search party has gotten so far from town that you haven't heard them in quite some time, or that they've stopped searching. You just don't know.
Rosalie, if you've talked to her, Nora, Rosalie's been a little snippy throughout this whole thing. The ordeal of reading this stuff. Not that she hasn't been snippy with you before, but
I know
she's been extra snippy.
I know. Nora's not having the best time either reading through all of this stuff. She's also kind of a little bit
and every once in a while she's like, oh, she just stops and like rubs her temples. She's just, I have such a headache. Oh. How can you be college educated and devote your life to talking about, I don't know. Anyway.
You went to college, Rosalie.
Me? Oh, no.
Oh, you mean the vicar?
Yeah, I mean the vicar, yes. She didn't get that far, to be fair. She didn't get far enough to go to finishing school.
Well, I mean,
I had a tutor when I was younger, but I never got to. That was as far as I ever got.
I mean, they're his notes. I'm sure he understands them.
True. Perhaps when he comes back, we can ask him some questions and
Rosalie, do you know what I am
Yeah.
curious about?
Yes.
I am curious about. No one's talked to the Thomas family yet, and I wonder how they're doing right now. Now that another little girl's been taken.
We could go talk to them.
I wonder what their search is like.
I could stretch my legs.
I mean, it's fairly far.
Oh, who cares? Come on, let's go. She just gets up and
I am interested to hear when, Riley getting back as well.
oh, he'll be back soon enough. Let's come on. I can't take another minute sitting in this awful room reading these things with that looking at me.
With just
and I point up to the cross. Yeah.
Rosalie just reaches up and turns it upside down.
Do you have something against Jesus, Rosalie?
No, I mean, not personally.
So okay.
You're like, he is sort of fit, isn't he? Every time you see him on that cross with the abs and everything.
Whenever I see you up on that cross, can't help thinking which is the fantastic South Park where Cartman forms a Christian band and then just remakes like these old these like old like love songs into like Jesus songs. And there's one that was like, whenever I see you up on that cross, I can't help thinking you're hot. I love you, Jesus. And they become like wildly successful. And his record label was like, you love Jesus. And he's like, yeah, I do. And he's like, no, you really love him. And they're like, you don't? It's great. It's like classic South Park. Phenomenal.
God.
Yeah.
With that aside.
Yeah, with that aside, sorry.
There's your dose of blasphemy for the day.
As usual, it's from me. So from the guy named Christian. So yeah, let's I can't sit here 1 minute with his notes and
No.
Please, Nora, come with me.
Oh, okay, Ross.
Like he doesn't have a single dirty letter or book or scroll tucked anywhere in this office.
Oh, I should totally draw some boobs and
You're
just
like,
slip it
where's
in
his
the thing.
In his
Or-
notes, yeah, you should. You should, just while you're like resting a little.
An original Robert.
Just notating his notes. Oh, an original Robert. Nice.
Oh my God.
Been a
poor
long
Edgar.
time.
Weeks from now when he opens it up, he's going to be like,
It's gotten to this.
another sudden death occurs in Brancombe. The vicar just dropped dead in his office for no reason.
Nora kind of sighs. She sticks her hand into her like side backpack. Okay, all right, let's head out. Maybe
Well,
we'll
thank
run
you
into
so
Riley
much.
on the way.
Hopefully. I say not entirely sincerely.
Yeah, I got it.
Just something.
Me? Oh. Secret message. Ooh.
Secret message.
Secret message through
Yes.
the mountains. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
All right. You head out of the vicarage. When you get out of the vicarage, you notice that there are a few more folks back in town. Looking, they're all armed. They've got like their rifles and stuff. Most of them are men, but there are a few women among them too that have tied their skirts up and are wearing boots. Some of them their husbands' boots from the look of things. That have been out in the field as well. Their sweaty brows, dirty faces. They're catching water, catching their breath here and there.
Rosalie.
And you notice
Rosalie.
among them are some officers.
Oh, they made it here.
Dressed in
good.
uniform. Some of them are trying to talk to people. You can tell just at the distance from the body language of stuff, like people have their arms crossed and things when the officers come and talk to them. They don't look super welcoming or forthcoming about anything, but nobody is like brandishing weapons or picking up rocks to throw at them. So that's kind of the only immediate thing that you've noticed. Is that it looks like some folks who have been searching are back now, or at least taking a break, and there is a small police presence right now in the village.
Rosalie, do you have a gun?
Oh, heavens, no.
Do you have a weapon?
She just like opens her sleeve and you see like the little end of a knife, like up her sleeve. She's like,
Respect.
do you?
Have a weapon? She's like, hoists bosom.
Oh,
He's like, it'll kill a priest.
In her clavage. No, it's up her sleeve.
I think I
Do you?
not particularly. I have a wand that doesn't do much, and that's about it. So I'll be counting on you, Rosalie, if something.
Well, let's hope that we don't need that.
Agreed, but just in case. It's a bit far, so. Okay.
I really should get a gun. I enjoyed shooting when we were at the house.
Didn't mind it either. Something in the future when we have money, perhaps.
Oh, well, then never for me, I suppose. I'll steal one.
Sure, that works too. Yes, that works too.
Are you all heading toward the Thomas farm or stopping to talk to some of the locals milling about?
I don't want to talk to anyone I don't recognize right now. I want to head, I think, towards the Thomas farm. But if we run into folks on the way there, especially like with the cops not around, I might ask them some questions.
Right. You are walking by. You almost miss him, but you do notice Martin by the well. He's pulling up the
Martin was a little witchcomb boy?
Martin and Tom. Martin's the older, Tom is the not the other Tom. We have two Toms to learn about. Martin and Tom are at the well right now. Martin's pulling up a bucket of water.
Gotcha.
The 17 and 16-year-old Winchcombe boys.
Gotcha.
Oh, they're going to be going in the same direction anyway.
What do you mean?
Well, the Thomas farm and the Winchcombe farm is close.
We haven't gotten to the Winchcombe farm
Nope,
yet.
they've come
we're
into
still in town.
Brandon. So as you're
okay.
heading toward like the bridge and route
Gotcha.
out of town, you like see the one.
Perfect.
You're like, is that? And like, it is. It's the Winchcombe boys.
Perfect. Yes, let's ask him if he's Martin. Martin, was it? Do you remember us from before? Nora and Rosalie?
Nora and Rosalie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you headed back to the farm? We're heading that way if
No, we're getting some water and we're gonna keep looking.
Have you found anything?
He looks grim and he just sort of shakes his head.
Oh,
Yeah, he reaches down to grab the bucket and then he swears and he drops the bucket and you hear the bucket land with a crash at the bottom of the well.
Martin?
He steps away. He's like, it's fucking frozen.
Look down the well.
And then like shot from the bottom of the well, all of your heads peer over the well. The bucket is laying on its side at the bottom of the well, on a slick, shiny surface that looks like ice.
That should not be happening.
That's very weird.
It's the devil. It's the devil's work. We're bedeviled.
Let's not jump to conclusions. I would say calm down and collect your wits a bit. And when you get your energy, continue searching with the others if people are continuing the search. Believe me when I say from personal experience that just because someone doesn't show up after one day does not mean they're gone.
He sort of he looks like he's getting angry almost. He kind of like swallows for a moment, like he wants to say something and the words aren't coming out, and he shakes his head, his brows crossed. It looks like he's reaching a point here. Like everything is just sort of boiling up right now at the sight of this frozen well.
Can I do empathy to calm him down?
Yes, you can.
Or help? Okay. Can I do inspiration too? Can I add that?
Yeah, I'll take either of those.
That would give me 6 dice. So, all right. 6 dice and not a 1.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm not going to risk another one because I'm already angry.
I know when you push things, like you only got a couple shots at that for the mystery,
had
really.
5 dice.
Yeah, you would have had one.
Yeah, I would have only had 5. Doesn't matter because I whiffed anyway completely. So I tried. I just put my hand on his hands, and I squeeze them, and I look like I'm trying to say something, but I don't have the words. So I just kind of look at him, and I'm like, I know, but you can't. You mustn't give up.
You know what? I don't know what the people of Brandcombe did, or who did it, or who's responsible, but we're being punished, and my brother's going to pay the price if we don't get him out of that jail. And all of these police here are milling about like they give 2 shits about finding Emily or anyone else, and they're going to hang my fucking brother. And Tom, the young one's like, Martin, we don't have time for that right now. And he's like, no, you know what? The girl's probably already dead, but Billy's not.
Oh, fuck. They're going to go and do something stupid. I'm like, I look at Nora and I'm like, I can't try to roll again. Can I? And like,
no,
no retest. That would be the push.
Yeah. I'm not doing that. So, yeah.
Now there's,
I got nothing.
There's still time. They're not hanging Billy yet. We haven't found
anything about when they're hanging Billy. They could do it tonight under the cover of dark, like cowards.
That's likely not going to happen.
So not they can put a neat little note on their file and close it.
Our friend has headed into town. We would hear if anything was happening tonight.
Ronaldo is a very persuasive, very empathetic man who, if anyone can get anybody to listen to reason, it would be him. Believe me when I say I have utmost faith in him.
Look, you're nice ladies, and I'm sure your friend means well, but you're not from around here. You don't know how it is. The people at Annensbury, they think they're better than us, and they resent that we've caused problems, that we're causing trouble right now. They're not like us. And then he just sort of pulls away from you and storms off down the road a bit. And Tom's like,
go with your brother.
He just kind of looks apologetically with you and then goes after his brother.
Yeah. That was very kind of you, Rosalie.
I tried, but I don't.
It's difficult times.
Get through to everyone.
It's difficult times. Their anger is understandable. Yeah,
I'm angry too. I understand, and I'm just angry all the time in general. So
let's just hope we figure it out in time.
I was telling the truth, though. Just because someone's missing for a day doesn't mean that they're gone.
No, let's hope.
Well, let's walk.
The well is frozen. That's very weird.
Yep, you look down there. Still frozen. Nobody else has noticed yet.
Do we have matches? Can we drop a light to see if there's anything like... If we can see anything like on the water?
I have a tinderbox.
You can have matches. No test for matches.
Yeah. If we can just drop a light just to see if there's anything weird about the water.
I'll light a match and drop it.
The little light kind of lights the damp, now glistening stones. They're covered in a layer of frost as it falls to the bottom of the well. The well water ice now level doesn't look particularly low or anything. It looks like a healthy well, other than the fact that it is frozen solid. And the match lights on the ice, burns for just a moment before it melts enough water to extinguish itself.
In that moment, do we see anything in the water, in the ice?
Nope.
Okay.
It is strange, though, that he pulled up the bucket and it wasn't frozen into the well. There's the ice is like unmarred. There's not like a hole in or anything from the bucket being pulled free.
They were drinking beforehand. Yep. So this happened
from this well?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
So that would mean, that would mean that they pulled up water and drank, and then in the intervening period of time,
this happened right at this second.
Froze. Right.
It must have
I'm just going to look around. I'm going to look around and see if I spot anything. Picked it in the grass because I noticed the dead grass at the house, right?
Yep.
Okay.
No test required for the grass. It's pretty obvious now that you're looking around for. The grass around the well is all withered, darkened, slumping as if it has been destroyed by a flash freeze that is now melted off of it. There's no frost or anything glistening on the grass, but it does look like some sort of bizarre ice attack has happened localized on this well, and it's affected the plants around it.
Oh, Nora, I'll point that out to her. The grass is just like
Things are happening very quickly now.
look around, see if there's any other dead grass. If she was here, she would have killed more grass.
Or taken someone else, maybe. Okay. I'll just look around the area kind of further out.
You can make a vigilance test.
Vigilance?
Or
do
you know,
as well?
I'll take investigate too. That's fine.
Investigate, sure.
Can I do that as well?
Yep.
Hey, 2 successes. Even with my angry
One
penalty.
success.
Nothing.
Mm.
Just the well.
Very weird.
How old is the stone of the well?
Looks fucking old. Looks
So-
fucking old. Like the rainwater has weathered the surface of the stone everywhere, rounded all sharp edges with time. Old.
So it occurs to me that this well likely was here. Well,
Do you think it's 300 years old?
look at it.
I mean, I'm not an expert on wells. I get my water from pipes.
It's got to be.
Like, I don't know.
I'm a
about
city
wells.
girl.
Rosalie is not, and I am not. And the wells, well, usually when there was a well in the town, it was the well that's been there since the town was founded.
That
I wonder if she's going to old places.
that she's been before, maybe? Maybe.
What else would have been here so long?
If your theory about your map is correct, this well is in like the center of town, though, right? It's a lot closer.
Yeah, it's very near the center of town.
That's also very concerning.
Where is the church in line from the well?
Church is, let me look at it. None of the main buildings in town are that far from the well because the main drag of town is quite
Right.
small. Where are my documents? Where are my documents? Here they are.
I love not DMing because I don't have to have a million documents open while I'm doing things now. Oh, I still have the map and stuff of the town up. So-
Oh, this well is.
I also don't see how she could have been here. We didn't see anything.
This well is at the intersection of Church Road and Chapham Road. Kind of where the road is wider if you look at your little map.
Okay. All right. So the vicarage is not like, oh no, the church is like directly in front of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right.
It's just silent. Like, oh no, things are
I mean,
escalating.
I don't know if this means that she was here or if this might mean that this is a remnant of her being around. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, I suppose it could just be an effect that's taking effect now, but I I don't know. I suspect she's back and she's mad, and I don't know why she would be taking children, but sooner or later, I just have a feeling, and I'll just look at the church, look at Nora.
Well, Daisy wasn't a child,
No, a girl though.
a girl, and now she's taking a child.
Do you want to still go talk to the Thomases?
I'm not sure,
Maybe
actually.
we should wait for Riley.
I'm not sure, actually. Yes, I think we should wait and reconvene and see what Riley has found out and following the
I
tracks
think
of
that's
that
a good
creature.
idea. I just, oh, my head is killing me. I could use a drink. Get a drink?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Get a drink. All right. You head to Shepherd's Rest, the only watering hole in the town of Brancombe.
I'm
Where's my
hoping
map
this is
and not
where
the thing?
Riley and Tom Halsey will return to. Or at least we'll hear
This is
word.
honestly probably where most people are going to return to. And that
Hear
seems to be
word, yeah.
confirmed as you head to it. And when you get inside, there are several groups of clearly people who are out searching and search parties, getting a bite to eat or a drink. The atmosphere is very down, very quiet. Nobody's making small talk or anything. They're all just heads down toward their plates, sort of eating, looking haggard and drawn, and fearful even. Even the innkeep. I don't think neither of you two have seen the innkeep yet, just Riley,
Maybe
right?
not, just Riley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have nothing to compare it to. The innkeep himself looks kind of fraught with worry, and is just serving the folks. You walk in and he says, what can I get for you?
Alcohol.
Your strongest.
Oh shit, what's his strongest alcohol?
Uh,
I have notes
so-
on what the inn has.
Hell yeah. Gin was very popular, but very low class back then. That was considered
Low
like,
class.
yeah, that was considered like the bad, like, it was like Four Loko, basically, back then.
Okay.
They probably have a whiskey.
Yeah, Irish. I could see
If it's
another
something-
Irish whiskey.
He's like, we've got a local cider. It's pretty strong. Got a half bottle of whiskey and a quarter bottle of brandy.
Ooh, the local cider sounds good.
Yeah,
Local cider.
that sounds great.
Because, dude, like, homemade liquor is strong as shit. By the way, like,
The cider is in a jar.
hell yeah.
He
Classic.
serves you a jar
Delicious.
of local cider. Hands it off to you.
Do you all have a map? Are you guys marking out where you've searched and what you've found, if anything?
We are. I went out and did a fair bit of searching myself, but when I got closer to mealtime, I figured folks would need some food to keep on going, so opened the place back up. That table over there is where folks have been marking their paths.
Rosalie, it might be a good idea to ask the folks while they're searching if they run into any more of these weird frost
Mm,
areas
I
to indicate to them as well, if we can get the word out. To
I
mark
think
on
that-
the map
yes.
too, where they've searched and if they've seen any of these weird frost dead grass circles.
I think that's a very good idea.
Yeah, so
Well, do
we'll
we
we'll
wanna-
head over
do-
while we're drinking.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
I'll
talk to
take my
people.
take my local cider and head over.
See if they found anything weird or strange out there or any signs.
You pick your way toward the table in the back. There's small groups of people, 2 and 3 mostly, and then a very, very old man sitting in a rocking chair by the fire with a mug, just rocking grimly. You pass a couple of the clear search party groups and you're like, hey, heard you were out there looking. Did you see anything weird? And they look up at you and they're like, felt a bitter wind. cold wind like winter. We all felt it. And then the other two at the table nod. I don't think that poor little girl's with us anymore. Think maybe somebody or maybe all of us done something and that little girl paid. And they're just fucking quiet after that.
Well, we still gotta look. Even if she met the same fate as Daisy, Daisy still came back.
They sort of exchange a few glances and nod, and they're like, right, for her mama.
I would also
No, for
say,
sure.
just say that hope isn't lost. It's possible for people to be lost and found. It's happened.
It's true, it's only been a day.
It's only been a day.
Miss Thomas was
Why,
missing
in,
for 3, so I suppose it ain't been 3 days yet.
In Dartmoor, where I grew up, there was a little girl once who went missing for 9 days and was found fine. Alive and well.
Where'd she go?
Nobody knows. She couldn't remember. She was too young.
Another
might
one
be
at
for
the
the
table says, I figure that might have been a blessing.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Well, thank you so much for looking, though.
Right, yeah. We better get back out there. And a couple of them kind of like grunt in agreement, and they get up, gather their hats and stuff. And
I don't
go
have a
ahead.
lot of money, but I will pay for their drinks if I can afford it.
oh, you go to peel out a few coins, and they're like, appreciate the generosity, Mrs. But I think his name is Albert. Albert's
Albert.
been
Yeah.
everything on the house tonight.
Oh, but okay.
When you go back out there, we've been noticing some, I know it sounds strange, but dead grass in circles. If you run into anything like that, might be connected, might not be.
Or anything cold.
Yeah. If you could mark that and bring us back, that would be great.
Keep an eye out. And they head out the door. You kind of head closer toward the table. There's another couple there, woman and a man. And they sort of overheard a bit of your conversation. And they say, found some bones, animal. Looked like maybe a goat, and there was the leg of a fox, all gnawed down. But real fresh, like raw, still.
Where
Grass
did you
was
find
dead in a circle, like you said.
that?
Oh.
Where did you find that?
Insert random last name here.
Sheffingham.
Yeah,
Sheffingham, like it.
Sheffield.
Sheffield.
On the edge of the Sheffield farm.
And where is that on the map here? I'm just
The woman gets up and goes over to the table with you, about here.
okay.
And it is not quite as close as Michelle's place, but it is closer than the previous sites that you have marked.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
It's the witch, ain't it?
I mean, I don't know
Old Meg.
that for sure, but
Seems-
if I'm honest, I have a suspicion that it is.
I knew it. I told you that witch ain't gonna sleep forever, that she's back to take her terrible revenge on the flock of St. Baron for what was done.
Years ago.
And there's
What
a
do you
grunt.
know?
The old man by the fire kind of snorts. And he says, Old Meg ain't no witch.
Oh, I'm right on that guy. Like, swoop right next to him, like sidle up.
It's like, whoa, well, what is she?
Exactly. What can you tell me? What do you mean by that?
And he's just rocking. This dude is old. You're looking at him. He could be anywhere from like maybe he's like a hard 70 to like 100 years old. Like,
It's not the
he's
years, it's the
fucking old.
mileage. Yeah.
And he says, Old Meg, ain't her name. 'Twas Mog. It's just rocking. She's a creature. Wasn't human.
Really? Well, what was she then?
1 second here. I'm getting lost in my notes. God, I know this name and I can't remember it off the top of my head. Yeah, there we go. Fucking. This is sister to Morgan Le Fay, that half fiend that begot her brother's child. The days of Arthur of Avalon. Folks here, time goes on. Folks get so busy. These new days, what with trains and post
Matches.
letters and electric lights, everybody be getting so busy they make things they're making things simpler, too simple. Everybody make things too simple and they forget.
But you don't seem to have forgotten.
Too old to forget. All I got is memory.
Not a bad thing to have. What is your name?
Ingham.
Ingham? Like with an I?
Mm-hmm. Mingham.
Ingham?
Yep.
That's an old ass name for an
Ingham.
old ass dude. Ingham. And you have lived here for a very long time, haven't you?
Was born at the vicarage. Pulled wet and screaming from my mama.
Aren't we all? Well, St. Buren then, he fought this Mog, or he prayed. I've been reading the vicar's notes, and there was some sort of prayer or something that St. Buren did that turned her to stone.
Wasn't like a spell. Not a prayer, no words that done it. It's a blessed weapon.
Oh. Well, what was it? What sort of weapon? Like a sword or a...
A cudgel that he had blessed himself. Using her old time name.
Which
There's
is not
power in a
Mog.
name.
I've heard. Not Mog, but something else then.
Mog.
Mog. Okay. Okay. I just look at Nora.
I'm drinking my drink.
Nope. Power in a name. Lot of yelling that little girl's name. Poor thing. Dark
you think
times in
she's
my poor Brandcombe.
gone?
My home. He's just rocking. If Mog got her, there ain't nothing that satisfies a fiend's appetite like that.
Do you think
And
calling?
she's...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was
Go
going to
ahead.
say, do you think calling her old name will bring her forward? Could we call her to us?
You can summon a thing by its true name. When you use a true name, you be careful. You don't get exactly what you wish for.
I don't think we should be summoning her until we know how to find this cudgel, if it's perhaps a relic at the vicarage, or maybe make our own. Do you know how he blessed the cudgel? Other than just using her name?
Invoking the power of our good Lord by some words or others.
Rosalie visibly cringes a little bit at that. Perhaps the vicar can help us. How long have you lived here, Ingham?
My whole life. Was born in the vicarage. Many, many years. Never seen a frost in June. Never done seen two young girls go missing to such terrible fates. Few days apart. This world is changing.
I'm gonna pull my sketch pad out, and I'm gonna draw him something.
He's content to sit and rock, ramble a
I'm
little
gonna
bit.
draw him I'm gonna draw him Brancombe, actually, like a really nice scenic scene of Brancombe, like in good times.
You're like some spring and June flowers.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it look nice.
Okay, well, you're sort of waiting with old Gaffer Ingham drawing your sketch there, nursing your drink, taking a peek at the map, talking to travelers and whatnot, whiling away a little bit of time while you wait for Riley. Riley, you and Tom be hitting the earth hard.
Yep.
Several more hours. You don't come across any more signs except for ring of blackened grass here. You find maybe one or two more clawed footprints around said grass patches, but they don't lead to any particular trail or anything like that. They're sort of anomalies that you've come across by chance. And it is getting late in the day, and you have been walking hard, keeping a good clip, going over hills and down little ravines, climbing little scree fields, jumping at shadows here and there. And it's gotten later and later in the day, and the sun is inching toward that horizon all too quickly. The shadows have grown long. It's getting dark. You see less and less other searchers and hear their calls less and less frequently. Few folks have lit torches or fires in the distance now. The light's low enough that you can still see by it, but you can also see the brightness of a flame stand out in the distance of the low light. Some folks are heading back in. Tom says, well, I don't want to turn back any more than anybody else, but been hunting this country for many years, and I don't do it at night. It's dangerous terrain. Should head back in.
Yeah, let's see see if anyone else, what everyone else has found. Maybe we can.
Possible someone found the girl and the news just hasn't found us back out here.
Hopefully.
We can pray for it.
We should head back into town, at least give the stocking back to Michelle.
That woman's lost so much. This'll kill her.
Hopefully it's not the end of it, though.
Hopefully it's not the end of everyone. And he shoulders his rifle and turns about, heads back into town. It is full dark by the time you reach it. The lights of Brancombe are twinkling along. Fewer buildings than you would have expected have lights in them at this hour. It's early in the night. But the most of the lights are kind of just a few of the street lights are lit.
Lit them lights.
And the Shepherd's Rest is well lit. There are a couple kind of outlying buildings and farms here or there, but looks like most everybody in the main town is probably fallen back at the inn at this point.
All right. Well, Riley will at least make his way there.
Is lit as well.
So we should swing by there first. Give the unfortunate news.
Do you think maybe we hold off on that a little longer?
I do suppose having no news is better than
Search
some
another
dreary
day.
news.
We should search another day.
Yeah.
Tell some of the others, but
Make sure
not
it
our
doesn't
mama.
get back to
Not
yeah.
yet.
I agree on that.
It's a good man. Let's head to Shepherd's Rest, see if anybody's found some better news than us. And he heads with you back to the Shepherd's Rest. You enter the rest, and it is crowded. There's a good crowd here. None of the laughter and joy and familial conversation and petty bickering that you would expect in a small town inn. People are talking. They're talking in low tones with grim expressions. In their groups and whatnot. Albert, who was very jolly, personable, talkative when you had been in for lunch, he's keeping busy. He's running food and whatnot out, but he's not staying to chat at the tables really. Everybody's looking drawn. Rosalie and Eleanor are sitting by the fire with the very, very old man that you saw this morning, who is still in that chair, still a rockin', still with a mug. Rosalie's sketching away on her pad. The whole pad is darkened. She's got quite a picture going there. But you notice Tom and Riley come on in, and a few folks look up and they're like, Tom, anything? And he's like, nothing good.
I'll let Tom be the bearer of the news instead of me being
Yeah,
He
the
heads
outsider.
over to the group that hailed them, and you can tell he's
Spreading the news. Yeah.
telling them about the snow and the stocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will head over
Did you
to
leave the stocking for Tom to hang on to, or do you have it?
I will give it to Tom to again
Hold on
let
to.
him be the bearer of unfortunate
It's a good
news
idea.
and not an
He
outsider.
goes over,
like
and a
himself.
couple other folks get up from their tables, and they kind of gather around to hear what he has to say, see what he has to show them.
And I'll reconvene with my own group and
You are convened.
tell
Really
him.
quickly, in that time, could I have also asked around to see if the Thomas family is here? Not that I'm going to talk to them, but I just want to see if they're here or if anyone has run into them out searching.
So they are not here. They did go out searching on their own, both Fred and the two hands who live on the farm with him. They went out as soon as they heard another girl had gone missing. A couple of the group saw them, but no one saw them super close to dark. That one of them's like, oh, I passed them up around a couple hours after noon, but nobody has seen them like, oh, I just saw them an hour ago. Nothing like that.
Gotcha. Okay. That's all. Riley. Oh,
I'll
did you
break
find
down what
anything
we
out there?
found, or
Yeah.
honestly, actually, more importantly, what we didn't find, which was the henge lovingly called Old Meg.
You now know that the stone is fucking missing.
It's gone, as in got up and walked away.
Not from what Tom told me. He it was there. It seemed to have been there that when they found Daisy, maybe.
You think it was there when they found Daisy? It must have been, right?
Hope maybe because like that
you
would
would
have
think
been
that at least one of those three men, no matter how distraught about the dead girl, will have noticed the huge fucking stone
Yeah.
missing.
Yeah.
But it is possible, stricken with grief and horror, they might not have noticed. Seems
Or-
unlikely to you, though.
or they may not have revealed that truth to the rest
Or
of the
withheld
community.
it for their own reasons, whatever those may be.
True.
But I explained that it's like we were following the footsteps, the claw marks. We found this mound of snow in the middle of a shepherd's fields.
The
And,
old
like,
man rocking on his chair kind of nearby, you've all been sitting next to him. He lets out a sudden just sob, just sort of like it's broken out of his chest, out of his breath, and he sobs.
Are you okay, Ingham?
He takes a breath, and his brow is so heavy and sunken, even when his eyes are wide open, you can't quite see him too well. And he says, I do fear some of this is my fault, maybe even most of it. That poor girl Daisy, she used to come and talk to me, ask me about the old legends, the old times. Sweet girl. She were a bit moonish, if you know what I mean. Prone to her fantasies, but they were charming in their own way.
Can relate a bit, I think.
Would have been burnt or hung as a witch in the olden days, but there weren't no harm in her. No harm
in that case. I can relate to her a lot then.
What did Daisy used to ask you about?
She asked me about Old Meg. She liked going up there by the stone. Had her own ideas about things. Was no monster in Daisy's mind, you see. She said more woman who wouldn't bend the knee to men, she thought. She had some modern ideas in that direction. Our young Daisy did. I had told her about all them legends and tales about our Mog up there. Maybe she wouldn't have gone. Maybe she never would have hung out up there.
You told her. Well, did she know Mog's real name?
Aye, she did. Of course she did. She used to go up there for walks and to do her thinking, she said. Liked the company.
We did enter the cave to hopefully find the young girl, and I did notice that there was a path worn into it, and found some discarded pits and stems of fruit.
Seems she liked to go there a lot.
She were a sweet girl.
This isn't your fault, Ingham.
I done got her killed.
Yeah. Don't let it hang too heavy. Anyone interested in anything, whether it was you, they would or not, she would have found a way to.
Yeah, she was a curious
to
girl.
those stories.
Never would have thought in 100 years that old Mog would get out. She'd been cast into stone some 300 years. Why would that change?
Good
Why would it
question.
change now?
Maybe something keeping her bound to that stone was
Times.
Bringing it up. Him knowing about all the old legends. I'm gonna ask him. Was there a up at the Old Meg there? Was there a plant that was outside next to the stone?
Aye. Big, tall, thorny rose bush. Never grew any blooms. 'Twere Mog's staff. Wicked implement she used to cast her spells and work her dark magics.
Yeah. I do say, unfortunately, along with Old Mog there, seems that had gone missing as well. I found the remnants, but I wasn't quite sure, and Tom, who went up there with me, didn't quite know the area too well, so he couldn't recall what it was.
Folks All but the young'uns they'd be keeping away from old Mog's Holt. It's a bad place. Bad energies.
Bad vibes.
Can agree with that.
Ancestors of old used to leave offerings there to appease her before Biren put her into stone.
Offerings of sheep?
Usually. Sometimes criminals.
What else can you tell us about her? What was her magic like?
Fuck, there's a quote in here. Where'd it go? Legends used to say that winter comes behind her.
That's so cool. And if she was awake and gaining strength and getting closer and closer to town,
God help us all. Perhaps we be
Right.
meeting Miss Thomas sooner than we expect.
Burger?
Burger is making lazy biscuits on my bathrobe.
aw, Burger.
Which is really ripping at it. I heard it through my headphones.
Damn.
But laying down, like,
Yeah.
aggressive. But not enough energy to do it up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to tear my drawing out of my sketch pad. And I've made I've drawn Grandcombe. And I've drawn it on like a very nice summer day. And you can see, what's the name of this place? The place
This
we're
is
in?
the Shepherd's Rest.
The Shepherd's Rest. But I have an Ingham sitting out front rocking, but he's a young man. And I give it to him. This is for you, Ingham. You've
He takes the paper with that just big, wrinkled hand. He was a big man in his youth. He's now very hunched. And he just holds it and he just looks at it for a long time without looking away. And he says, "Aye, that's a memory I could hold. Thank you."
You're welcome. Thank you. If you think of anything else, we'll be here. Let us know.
Keep a weather eye out tonight.
We will.
There's a sharpness in the air.
Riley, well, I did a plot of the attacks seem to be getting closer to town. And while people were even out searching, we discovered, I'll look around to make sure nobody hears us, except for Ingham, because I was going to, hopefully he doesn't die. When he hears us. The well was frozen.
The which well?
The well in
The
the center
one-
of town.
The one in the center of town, right in front of the church, frozen solid. And it happened
Whoa.
very rapidly
Lots of
because
people around. Yeah.
people were drinking out of it, and then they sent the bucket back down, and it was frozen.
The well, if what Ingham has said correct, the legend says winter comes behind her.
She must have been there.
Yeah.
Nobody saw her. But we've also learned that St. Buren, the vicar's notes say it was a prayer, but it wasn't a prayer. It was a cudgel that he used. He blessed it with her name, her real name.
Or
we
against her
know.
name. Her true
He
name.
blessed it. Yeah, he blessed it against her name. If that cudgel still exists, it could in the church, or maybe we can figure a way of making a new one. I don't see any other way of. I don't think we're going to be able to talk to her. We'll put it that way.
The way that things are, probably not.
You want to fight a witch?
Not really, but I don't think she's a witch. She seems more like a monster.
I mean, maybe it's the same thing.
In some people's eyes, I suppose. I don't think Daisy's that wrong, really. Mog definitely didn't listen to the new way of thinking and was punished for it.
Maybe. We'll never really. We don't know what Daisy talked to her about with her up there, you know.
We don't.
Oh,
And her
Eleanor,
new ideas.
there is a writhing in your pocket. You can feel it through the thin walls of fabric against your
Oh,
body.
girl, I'll stick my hand in and just like grab it.
Do we notice this?
I mean, you notice
Notice
me.
her shove her hand into her
Yeah, you
pocket.
notice me like quickly shove my hand into my bag. It's a side bag,
Side
not a
bag.
pocket. Yeah,
Felt it against sort of your back.
yeah.
Just resting.
Everything okay?
Yes. Maybe Daisy made a deal.
Good. I just I don't know. Sometimes I feel that yesterday's gods are today's devils, but be that as may, if she's angry enough,
That's a good
there's not
fucking
going to be any
quote.
reason. I just made that up. I'm fucking a
Right?
genius.
That's a good fucking quote.
Yesterday's gods are today's devils. I suppose we could try to reason with her, but I wouldn't want to do it without something to use against her.
No, I'm not saying we should reason with her. I just wonder what kind of deal Daisy might have made up there, or what she was looking for with Mog.
Well, if it was anything in a fit of jealousy, maybe it was something towards Billy there, and maybe this scattered back and
Maybe.
forth that
If she wished something ill to happen to Billy,
maybe Meg's searching for him.
and she got what she wished for, because everybody seems very, very willing to just hang Billy, even though a lot of evidence points to animal attacks and other things.
No, everyone in Annensbury seems willing to be hanging Billy.
Really,
Everyone-
Maybe the magic.
really,
Maybe that's how the magic works.
it's just one man. Like
The door to the shepherd's rest
One
swings
man.
open, and all the low conversations that have been going on go quiet. A middle-aged man comes in with two younger men, shortly behind him, and he looks like he hasn't slept in weeks. His cheekbones are sharp, his eyes are dark and sunken,
Mr. Thomas.
his hair's a mess, and folks look at him and then they look away. There's just the hunch to his shoulders, like they're pressed down, tucked inward at the same time. He walks his way to the bar.
I suspect that's Mr. Thomas.
I would not take that bet against you.
Oh, that saves my that would kind of save me a trip. Was thinking of heading up that way to have a chat.
Now's your chance.
Riley's gonna go over towards what we assume is Mr. Thomas there. What, Fred Thomas?
Yep.
Yep.
He's taken a seat at the bar. His two farmhands are talking to Albert. You walk up to him and he doesn't look at you. He's staring at the bar surface almost absently.
Mr. Thomas, I know.
You startle him as if he were in deep thought. He flinches and he looks toward you.
Sorry to bother you on.
No, sorry. What can I help you with?
Well, I just I believe you've heard about the young missing girl. I was out with
Little Emily.
Thomas Paulsley. We've been looking all day. We made our way up to the Holt.
His face, as you talk, starts to pinch, and the corners of his mouth twitch a little bit as he's fighting something back, and then he just starts crying. He just lets out a sob, and he says, that little girl's gonna end up just like my little girl, all torn to bits. I looked for her all day, hoping it would be different, and I didn't find her. Part of me was hoping I didn't. So I don't want to see another little girl like that. And he just starts sobbing. One of the farm hands comes over and is like, Fred, we're going to look again first light.
Being that he's probably not in the best state of mind to answer my questions, he's going to turn to the other farmhand, the one that wasn't trying to console him.
The other one is just kind of hovering a little bit awkwardly.
Yep.
You look to him and he looks to you like, what can I help you? Like, just in his face is like, yes, we can continue. While still being profoundly uncomfortable with this man's incredible grief.
Yeah. Rob and Edwin, I believe, were his farmhands, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes.
It's Rob and Edwin. Yes, you said that. I thought you said Fred for some reason, but yeah, it's Rob and Edwin.
Fred is the
Fred, Rob,
father.
and Edwin. Yeah. I will go I will kind of throw out a guess and to which one is being the awkward one. I'm going to say Edwin.
You nailed it.
I'm going to just it's like, are you Edwin?
He's like, I am, and you're one of the vicar's friends from London.
Yes.
Heard you come to help us out. And he sort of like steps away toward one of the other like open side tables.
Yeah,
leaving, Rob.
Yep.
Just trying to
step
let
over
Fred know, it's not over. It was 3 days before we found poor Daisy. Like, Emily still has a chance. Maybe we find her tomorrow.
I'll start telling him again. It's like I was out with Tom Paisley. We went up to the Holt. I understand that the three of you were the ones that found Daisy up at the Holt.
Yep. Right in front of the cave.
Was Old Meg still there when you found Daisy?
Yeah, he looks a little confused as to like why you would ask that. Like that's weird. Like he's like the giant, enormous, like
stone rock thing.
Like yes, that was still there. He's like yes.
The
rock, right? That Old Meg.
Yes.
Yeah.
The rock. When we had made our way up there, it with what I now know is the old rose bush next to it is no longer there.
He's like, I don't understand.
When
there's no man, woman, or beast of burden that could move that rock. Whatever planted it there done it good and forever.
With kind of ignoring his question,
you don't mean
what
Bayesian or witch stories?
What time
you don't think?
Let's hope not. But I'm gonna do we know now question for you. Do we know around what time Daisy was found?
You do not.
Just
So
3 days later. Yeah.
It was
What
3
time
days
of
later,
day?
but you don't know like what time of day.
Yeah, what time of day? So he's gonna ask Edwin's about what time of day did you guys stumble up to the old Holt?
Couple hours after sunrise, maybe 8, 9. We went up there early because we'd been talking the night before about checking it. Folks avoid that place, but sometimes Daisy had her thoughts and her about some of the legends. Figured we'd check. And she was there.
Me and Tom there, we did find some traces of someone who would go into the cave quite often.
Yeah,
I assumed it would have been Daisy.
Yeah. We checked sooner, maybe. And then he just sort of stops and he just says, "Nah, she wouldn't have been alive. Not torn up like that."
I had a question that I wanted to ask him, but it just slipped my mind.
They hadn't looked out there before the 3 days. It took them 3 days to make their way to the hold.
Yep.
No,
They're so afraid. Yeah.
No one likes going up there. So, and like Daisy and maybe a few others are probably the only ones that ever did. Riley's going to thank Edwin and
yeah.
Maybe it'd be best if no one goes up to the Holts to see if that stone's actually there or not.
It'll be too soon if I see it the day I die. And he heads back to the bar.
Yeah, I'll head back to the group, informing them it's like when they found Daisy, the Old Meg was still there. So it was within the few days since Daisy was killed. Or a few days after. From what I saw, it wasn't quite fresh, the crater where the stone was. So it had to have been a few days at the very least.
The doors to the Shepherd Rest burst open again. And Mrs. Hopper comes in a huff. Her hair's come a little bit out of the bun that she keeps it in. She's got her apron on, but she's like panting, and she's like, come quickly. The witch combs are at the vicarage. They're trying to take the vicar.
They're trying to take the vicar.
They're trying to make him go with them to Annensbury to get Billy out of jail. They've got guns. They're very upset. Somebody come.
I'll run out.
Everybody come. And then she just starts running back.
Oh, dear.
Off to the vicarage.
To the vicarage.
a shit ton of people get up and flood out of the Shepherd's Rest. It's everybody's business. It's everybody's business. And a veritable mob of people go running toward the vicarage with y'alls in the lead.
Rabble. Okay.
You get to the vicarage and Edgar is outside. The front door to the vicarage is open behind him. He's got his hands up, like as if to kind of calm folks down. And David Winchcombe he's mad. He's got his rifle. His boys are with him. They look mad also. The older one has another gun, but he doesn't have it. He's not holding it quite so at the ready. David's got a hand on each. The other boy just has one hand on it and the shoulder strap still on. Younger boy looks angry, but also a little afraid. They're riled up. And they're like, if you tell them, David's yelling, if you tell them that Billy didn't do it, they will let him go. You're a priest. You're a man of God. They will listen to you. We have to go get our boy right now, before another dead child curses this town. And poor Edgar is like, David, I'm happy to go with you. Storming into Annonsbury in the middle of the night with guns in such a state is not going to end well for anyone, not even Billy. They are not going to harm him tonight. And he is like, kids disappear at night in this cursed town. I'm not going to wait one more minute. I'm going to get my boy and you are going to help me. And y'all approach there, and David and the other boys kind of look toward you, and David spins toward the crowd, kind of brandishes the rifle. Not aiming it yet, but the barrel swings over y'all. And he says, anybody wants to come with me? We're getting my boy out of prison. There will be no more dead children in this town if there is anything I can do about it. And everybody's like, a couple folks are like, yeah, like we can do it. Like they look around and they're like, let's go. Those fucking useless cops were here today. They didn't help anything. Some of them got in the way. And things start getting worse.
This is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. You're going to get yourself and your other boys killed. Like,
they're not going to shoot us all.
But they'll shoot maybe some of you if you go in with guns.
They're not going to do nothing. Those yellow-livered cowards. Get more southern.
Damn carpetbaggers.
Didn't even stay toward dark to search for a little girl.
Listen, bringing Billy back here isn't going to save Emily wherever she is. Him coming back isn't going to bring Emily back around here.
Feel free to make an empathy or an inspiration check.
Can I help by saying, can I just be like, yeah, I just like say soothing words as well to help so she gets some like.
We can assist.
Yeah, as an assist. I'm
yes,
just like.
When you assist, I believe you give them one extra.
Plus one, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, okay, I'll make a manipulation check.
Yeah, manipulation will work too. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, is that not manipulation?
It would be manipulation.
I called for like empathy or inspiration, but manipulation will do just fine.
Yeah, well.
Okay, I was going to say I could do inspiration too.
Let me see.
Yeah, as she's saying that, I'm just like, David, boys, put the guns down. Violence is not going to help the issue. Threatening violence is not going to help the issue. You don't want to kill anyone, believe me.
Everybody here knows my brother didn't do it. The folks at Annonsbury, they don't know anything. They didn't know Daisy. They didn't know Billy. They don't know any of us.
Inspiration
and
would
a few
work
more people
too.
are like, ah.
Right now isn't the time for it, okay? Like, if you have enough energy to be going out after Billy, we have enough energy to keep searching for Emily. Like, this isn't the right time.
We'll get Billy back. He'll help us search in the morning.
And if you all die trying?
They can't stop us.
What'd you find, Kent?
Inspiration probably would be better in this case because it is to influence a group of people instead of manipulation.
And the crowd at this point too.
I got 2 6s.
All
which
right,
is
you're talking
low.
a lot of sense. You're like, that's not going to help Emily.
And
Between
This also
your
just isn't the time, right?
Yeah.
Like I agree, like we need to do something maybe to get Billy
Yeah.
out, but this is not the right time. We have a few more days. We have a little bit of time. Billy doesn't have a trial date yet. They're not going to do anything in the middle of the night. Like,
and
slow your
Edgar
horses.
just being the second voice, a bit more firm than Edgar, who is rather intimidated by the swinging guns and also the anger. Most of the crowd responds. You can hear some of the crowd kind of talking it back. A few other folks, especially some of the ones that you've talked to yourself, the couple that you had talked to, the group of 3 that you had talked to before on your way to the map. They're turning to the people next to them and they're like, she's right. Like, if we all take off in the middle of the night, what's poor Michelle going to think when she comes out of her house? Like, we need to be here. And the demeanor of the crowd starts to change and spread and turn. David and the Winchcombe boys still very upset.
Look, whatever this thing is that's out there getting girls too, the more people that leave the village, the more vulnerable that people are. You're about this town. You guys need to stick together and look out for the people that are here too. Billy is fine for now. For now.
The younger boy, Tom, sort of turns to Edgar and he's like, what is it, father? No. God, Reverend. Reverend is the title. Yes, I was told it was Reverend.
Yeah.
And I'm Reverend. He's like, Reverend, can we get your word that you'll come with us in the morning, first light, to go to Annonsbury?
Morning.
They want to go now.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Better than the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Please.
It is, but
My brother and my pa and my ma, we're worried sick, and we've got to get Billy out of there. Everyone knows he didn't do it. Everyone knows. Hell, even Fred Thomas has come around. Even Fred Thomas. And Edgar's like, Tom, I will go with you and your family. First light. I promise. We will go and see to your brother. But we don't need to bring the whole mob. They need to keep looking for Emily. And that seems to be reasonable to most folk at this point. Especially now that most of the crowd has been turned a bit, focused back to Emily. You can feel the tensions ratchet down a bit. David is still very mad, but now that his son he gives his son almost like an angry, disappointed look. But looks to Edgar for his answer when Edgar's like, I promise. And he's like, first light, I'm not sleeping a wink, so I'll be here. He's like, David, never lied to you about such things. I want Billy back home as much as anyone. He's like, you need to go home to your wife now. David casts kind of one more angry glance around folks, and then he slings his rifle and he walks off. The older boy, Martin, follows him.
Jesus.
You see,
A couple folks as he passes by are like, we're with you, Dave. We'll go with you in the morning.
I slowly take my hand out of my bag.
Yeah, you see, Rosalie had like subconsciously, like she's had something in her hand that she kind of like had taken out of her own purse, but she puts back. It's
Everybody's
too small
like,
to be
reach for comfort object or weapon.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, that was all you, Nora. That was fantastic.
I
You did a
mean,
good job.
Edgar turns to the crowd and he says, I'm going to be praying all night, holding vigil for Emily. If anybody would like to join me in the chapel, all are welcome. And he heads toward the chapel.
I'm going to follow him.
Right.
Edgar.
And a few folks do kind of go.
Yeah. I want to talk to him though.
Rosalie.
Yes. Wonderful job keeping your composure. I've been doing some research and some reading and some talking to people around town about how St. Buren, dealt with Meg. Or I've come to realize her name is Mog, not Meg.
I've not heard of that one. Where did you
Oh, from Ingham, the old gentleman at the bar.
Oh. Huh, I hadn't thought to talk to him about
Oh, you should. He's just
matters
a
of
treasure trove
local
of
folklore
information.
and stones.
Yeah. Oh, he
That's
seems to have been here for most of it. So, kind of like Christian.
Mog.
Mog. It wasn't a prayer that Buren used against her. It was a weapon he had blessed against her true name, a cudgel. Now,
Makes
I know
sense. Some of
sometimes
the illustrations depict him with a cudgel.
sometimes vicarages and priests in church keep relics. Is it possible that there's something like that still here?
He looks apologetic. He's like, if there is, it's in the walls. I've not found anything like that. I have some vestments from Saint Buren. That is all we have in the line
Could we
of relics.
see them, maybe? The vestments?
Yeah, they're in the chapel proper.
I'm just wondering if we could, even if we could just find out how he did what he did with her name, then enchant our own weapon against her, then maybe we can, or you can, because you're the priest.
You're
maybe you can
not
do
saying
something.
that you believe this is Mog, a flesh and blood being.
Edgar, the stone is gone.
Gone?
Gone. Riley saw it. Or didn't see it.
Did it break down, or?
No, it walked away.
It was.
Well, it didn't walk. It just disappeared.
It seemed like it
walk
was.
away.
It
did
walked
it?
away. It did. It walked away as Mog. It turned back
seemed
into
like it
Mog and
was-
walked away.
The stone was gone, and there was a bush that was next to it that was pulled up and ripped out. And from what Ingham had told me, by the old legends, that was thought to be her staff that she used to use to cast her dark magics.
You can tell for a holy man who's being told that a demon is real and needs to be banished by holy rituals that he is a true skeptic. He is having a hard time believing this, even as a vicar of the church and keeper of the chapel of Saint Buren. And for a moment, you can see what must have been that young academic in him, as he's just hearing this, like, grappling with it. And then he says, the vestments are at your disposal if you think they'll help with anything. This Mog, do you have any inclination where she might be, or have gone, or what she is after?
Don't know. I don't know. I
mean,
think
Children, apparently.
Me and Tom have been all across the countryside, and we always seem to be a step or two behind her. And it kind of looks like she's making her way closer and closer to town.
the killings, the sheep and the people who are disappearing started further away from town and have come closer. The well was frozen before we all sat down to start drinking. The old folks used to say that winter followed her. These frozen things, these winter effects are what follows in her wake.
Looks deeply concerned.
Do you know what she was after before
the
she
entire
was?
village is at risk.
Yes.
Potentially. Or she's going back and forth searching for something.
Too. But a little
I'm
girl.
Afraid I'm not well versed in the in any sort of folklore that speaks of a Mog or anything, but everything I know of witches from the church and from more rustic and pagan folklore indicates that blood and ritual sacrifice are important. They hold their own dark Sabbath days, A lot of them mirror holy days in the Christian church.
And a holy day is coming up.
Feast of St. Byrne.
The people used to leave offerings for her, mostly of sheep. She could just be taking the sheep for, well, she was used to getting them as an offering. The girls, virgin sacrifices.
Lambs.
Was Old Meg after anything when she got
Whacked.
yeah. Thank you.
Petrified.
Petrified, thank you.
Yeah.
I only know the general folklore, nothing specific, cursing folks, stealing cattle, eating babies, that sort of thing.
Mm.
I mean, okay,
Turning
so
milk
just
to blood.
that's just all rumor, old
Yeah.
witch rumor stuff. Okay. Something just doesn't seem right.
You've been walking, you reach the church at this point, and he heads up the steps and opens the door. Folks kind of fled into the chapel. Small crowd, not a ton of people are going to be up all night praying in the chapel, but a handful of folks, and they take positions up around the pews and start to pray. The vicar takes you back behind the church into the little rooms behind the main church room.
The sacristy
That's
is
we'll
what
go
it's
with
called
that.
in a Catholic church, so I don't know what it's
The
called in an Anglican church.
sacristy.
Yes.
And he goes and retrieves from a nice, well-maintained chest, opens it up, unfolds some protective papers and coverings from the folded vestments, lifts them out. He says they're very old, as you well know. They're in decent shape. We've kept the moths away from them, kept them out of sunlight. But it's just it's his holy vestments that he used to conduct his own prayers and ceremonies in this very church in. They're certainly not a cudgel. But I have no reason to doubt that these are authentic. They were upon the saint's body.
Thank you.
Just be gentle with them, and if
Of
you're not
course.
using them immediately, if you would not mind leaving them in the box until you need them, here's the box. And
Sure. I don't anticipate us using them. I'm going to take them out very gently and just kind of lay them out.
on a desk surface or
'Cause
something.
I'm looking because I'm picturing again, I'm a Catholic, so Anglicans kind of are the same, but the piece where they've
They're
long
roby,
thing,
they've
and it's
got the
it's a
scarfy
robe, and
thing.
I forget what the scarfy thing is called, but there's usually symbols on the scarfy thing. Yeah, we're so good. We're so not going to hell.
The scarfy thing.
Yeah, the scarfy thing, the scarf. So I'm just looking to see if there are any symbols, or maybe he has a picture of him clubbing a witch over the head with a cudgel, or maybe there's something that might help us here.
They look like pretty standard ye old Anglican priesty robes. They've not been nothing on it indicates that they were tailored for St. Byrne in any sort of way. They're more standard issue
Just your standard
of
issue.
the church thing. Yeah.
Okay.
A stole.
Actually, I don't know if would it have been Anglicans. They wouldn't have been Anglicans. Technically, they would have been Catholics at the time.
Catholics. Wait, no, I think
Yeah,
Protestant
because
no.
Protestantism came after.
No, you're right.
Protestantism came a long time after he would have banished a witch. And
During Byrne's time. Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
Mm.
So they are. This is a regular. Yeah.
This is regular Catholic stuff. All right. Huh.
Anglicanized Catholic stuff. They took St. Byrne and kept him for the Anglican Church. I don't know.
This one's
I don't know how that works. One
have
church
no idea.
acquire
Precisely how it
appropriating the
works.
saints of another church. I don't understand.
I'm just gonna, I don't know, investigate them, I guess. Right.
I mean, they're just stoles. They're just vestments.
They're just vestments.
They're holy. They're old.
They don't glow or anything. So you're looking at, especially you, Rosalie. You're like, wow, this is an old robe that smells kind of like an old man.
Yeah,
like musty. Yeah.
She's like, ew,
They're
old man
The magic.
Well,
But Edgar kind of looks at you all and he's like, if you need anything else, I'll be in prayer in the chapel all through the night.
Of course.
I do intend to go with David and his boys in the morning. I think they're going to go there either way, and it's best they have someone with a level head with them, perhaps.
I agree with that.
I'll do my best to keep the peace. Thank you, friends. And he heads back to the main chapel to.
Is there anything else in the box? I'm just going to take a look through the box.
There's nothing. It's just got a little velvet
It's
lining.
the box. Yeah.
Box.
Well, I don't have any ideas.
It's late. You're tired. You and Nora have been reading all day, got a little bit of a headache from reading cramped text, spidery handwriting, some of the stuff you're like, who the fuck writes like this?
Yeah, me, actually, like me in real life. But
drinking ciders.
Yeah,
it's like
cider.
Worse than like super messy. It's probably like super scripty.
Yeah, exactly.
Super
like,
long
script.
Like,
mine's not neat at all. Like this is like, I don't know how good it's going to look, but like, yeah, like there's mine, which is like awful.
It's readable.
No, it's not. It's some. There are times that I'm like, what did I write? And it's my own writing, but
people can't read my handwriting, so
yeah.
Riley, your legs are heavy. You've been hoofing it all day, sun up to sundown.
Yep.
For now, the village of Brandcombe is quiet.
Maybe we rest and try again in the morning, I guess.
Probably best. It's been probably good. I'll get up early again. Hopefully we'll be able to maybe find some more signs of the girl, or maybe Old Meg herself.
I think I know how to get Old Meg to us. If we needed to. Well, Ingham said that things respond to their name, and people used to leave sacrifices to her. So if we got a sheep and called her name, particularly by her home, I don't see why she wouldn't show up.
Good try. Good to try, but
you want to talk?
No, I don't think we should just do that. I'm just saying
you want to try and transform.
If we had a nice cudgel to whale her with, then maybe we could turn her back to stone. I think that's just summon her with a sheep and just whack her with the cudgel.
I mean, to be fair, I get the sense that it wasn't just the cudgel; it was a weapon blessed.
Yeah, I am not a holy person.
But we have a holy person on our side, you know.
We do.
But he'll be going to
tomorrow morning.
Town tomorrow, yeah.
In the morning.
And hopefully we'll find signs of young Emily before then.
Is anyone else worried that these attacks are getting closer? And
yes,
obviously St. Byron was the one who transformed her, and we're going to be staying in the Church of St. Byron.
Yes.
Well,
while they're doing a bunch of St. Byron
vicarage
prayers.
Next to the Church of St. Byron.
Oh, that's right. We're in the vicarage next to St. Byron.
Yes,
We're not.
They are separate buildings. They are
Okay.
adjacent, but they are
That's
separate.
right. Okay, that's right. All right. Well, that's a little better.
Is the vicarage as old as the church or newer?
You know, the vicarage is probably a little bit newer than the church. I would think that when the church was originally built, it was incredibly small, and the priest probably lived it like inside the church in like the little rectory or whatever.
Okay.
Okay, then rephrase my statement. Is anyone else concerned that our dear vicar is going to be saying prayers all through the night while this thing is getting closer to his church?
Yes, I am. Do you think we should stay up all night and pray with him?
I mean, I do, but I don't want to. Do I think
I'll
that's
stay
a
up.
possible good idea? Maybe. Oh, my eyes are burning. Sorry.
It's okay.
I just want to know.
We could take shifts.
We could take shifts.
You take shifts.
I'll go second. I don't mind the deep night,
Mm.
and I can fall asleep pretty easily.
I'll go first.
Who's on third?
I'll go first. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm
Tired.
a bit tired walking the countryside all day. I'll watch the vicar's back
In the
come
morning.
early morn.
You folks are walking back to the vicarage, or are you staying in the church?
I'm staying in the church. Those 2
I'll
are
head
going back to the
vicar. Yeah, so
vicarage.
Cat-
Okay,
yeah,
you're gonna
Riley
sleep in the
and
vicarage,
Rosalie will go
swap
back.
out at the
Yeah.
church.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. You two head back to the church together and go about getting ready for bed. Mrs. Hopper is not, she doesn't stay at the vicarage overnight. So
Mhm.
you have the entire vicarage to yourself at the moment. Priest is out. Mrs. Hopper is out. The vicarage is quiet and dark when you enter.
Just Rosalie and
Oh,
Riley.
Jesus.
You're right.
Oh,
The
no.
last, Yeah, if
You know what would be
if there are
super
any last
blasphemous?
conversations or activities you wish to engage in before heading to your respective chambers, you may do so now.
I'm going to just take one more spin through his private quarters. Just to see if there's, just in all honesty, just to see if there might be anything that we missed
Like,
of his
you reach
papers.
under his pillow and you pull out a cudgel. You're like, that motherfucker.
I'm like,
He's holding out on us.
That'd be so
just
funny.
if there's like anything amongst his paperwork that maybe like I missed,
Missed the
just
first
like,
time around. Yeah.
I can't. I wouldn't be able to sleep like if I didn't like take that look through. Basically, that's where she's at.
You take one more spin through things. Nothing immediately jumps out at you. The only thing that you notice that has any sort of remarkability is that he has a copy of Charles Darwin's Origin of Species in his office.
He's a sciencey person. He don't believe this shit.
But other than that, nothing suspicious, weird, or anything like that. You just kind of notice that little bit of personality you once again see in that tome. The young academic he must have been 12 years ago.
I honestly think he probably like, if this needs like a man of true faith, he's probably not the dude, because I don't think he's like the guy in Salem's Lot who was like the priest in Salem's Lot who just like gets rat fucked.
What?
If you ever seen Salem's Lot, there's a scene with the priest and he like tries to like keep Barlow the vampire away, and Barlow just takes the cross and like smushes it and is like, no, you have to actually believe, and just like fucking kills the priest like completely dead. Yeah. So
You're like, what if our priest doesn't work? What if he's broken?
yeah, I have a feeling our priest is too rational for this. So I'll take that spin through, and then I'll go to bed, and I'll just try to rest. And I believe that lets me remove a condition, or is that no?
Nope.
I will have to double check.
No, resting.
Nope. If you want to
I think you need
confer
somebody to
with your
make that.
memento.
Yes, if you want to, you have not used your memento yet. You may do that to remove a condition.
That is once per
Adventure. Mystery, yeah.
You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to. Nobody's around, but Rosalie reaches into the pocket that she had her hand in before when everything looked like it was about to go down with the guns and the rioting and the rabble, and she pulls out a very worn, very small bronze statuette, just like yay big, and it's so smooth you almost can't make it out. But then if you look more at the figure, you can see like it's a humanoid figure and has like furry legs and hooves and a erect penis, and it's Pan. She has a very small, very bronze figure of Pan.
I almost was
and she
waiting
kinda-
for you to say fish scales, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
Ah,
is it another
Oh,
one?
Another one. No, it's a small figure of Pan that she has.
Gotcha.
And she kind of just, as she lays and goes to sleep, she does not get undressed because she's going to have to get up in the middle of the night to like go keep watch over the priest. So she just kind of kicks her shoes off and lays down. And as she lays there, she just kind of holds that and rubs it absentmindedly and calms herself, kind of releases the anger that she has.
As you take a moment looking at this little relic that reminds you of things you have forgotten, things that you choose to remember, maybe things in between. You're reminded as you drift off that the other world that you know, that you feel is out there, as full as it is of terror and horrors, it also has an almost wondrous capacity for change, to reverse fortunes, to turn things on their head. And you drift off to sleep with the hope that the direction things are heading in, that path of carnage that you've tracked on the map, can reverse just as easily. Riley. Do you head right to bed, or is there anything you wish to do first?
Riley is, by this point in the night, with all of the walking and running and searching and that last bit of adrenaline towards the end of the night with the winch combs, Riley has been thoroughly and exhausted throughout the day's events. So I think he's going to go straight to bed because he's going to need as much rest as he can to search again tomorrow.
Climb into bed, Riley, and your entire body is heavy like lead. Your pillow hits your face. Your face hits the pillow hard. And you're expecting yourself to just kind of black out on contact, to find that peaceful sleep, but you lay there for a moment and you're awake and you're thinking and your mind is spinning. And your mind is spinning as you recall your child. And you recall what Edgar mentioned so offhandedly. Stories about witches, typical witch things. Sacrifices, holding evil Sabbaths, eating babies. And the thought of eating babies just sits with you as you lay there, thinking of your young child. Sleep is a long time coming. Eleanor, you're on first watch. First watch is going fine. You're hanging out in the chapel. Folks are praying. Edgar leads some prayers out loud. In between prayers and whatnot, he walks and he talks with small groups of people, kind of consoles them with faith to the best degree that he can. Is just doing his best to speak to people with kindness and mercy and hope. Even though everybody, including Edgar's face, is very drawn and very worried. Is there anything particular you wish to do while keeping watch?
No, I don't think so. I think she's just kind of sitting in the church, kind of observing. She's trying to just think through everything. She feels like there's something that she's missing. Like none of it makes sense. And she's all about everything kind of making sense. And every trick has like a reason why it happens. There's some sort of logic behind it. And she feels like there's just something that she doesn't see yet. And she hasn't figured it out.
There is a writhing at your back, again in your pocket. It gets more and more restless, frustrated, almost like the whispered prayers, the sanctity, the smell of this place is wearing on it, making it agitated. And you can feel the agitation crawling through your back into your own spine until you're shifting. You find it hard to keep still, but you hold your post. You keep watch. Towards the end, when you're like, oh, it's been a good few hours. Gonna go wake Rosalie up. In the distance, there was a long, mournful howl that crawls over the moors. And your gut clenches with dread as you recognize in this animal and inhuman voice a keen note of grief. We will continue with the finale for sure next session with hopefully Ronnie here. Ronaldo.
Yes.
Good show, Amber.
Good.
I have no idea what's going on.
I will.
Daisy talked to Mog. Daisy, I think right now Daisy asked Mog for something and got what she wanted, but it was exactly what she wanted, but
I
it
don't
wasn't
know.
worded correct.
I don't know. This
but
this doesn't feel like vengeance. It doesn't feel quite right. But
I think Mog is just like
I don't
pissed,
think.
and
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure
think
if
she's
it would
also
be
probably reasonable. Like maybe we should try talking to her.
I
If
don't
Sarah
know.
was here, that would be exactly what we were doing. I'm telling you right now. So I might have to do that just in her
feel
honor.
quite right.
Yeah, I think the
I
amount
love
of
hearing
time.
everybody speculate. Yeah.
I think the amount of time that Daisy had gone up to see Old Meg, the amount of time that she's been up there, any child, because they are basically children, like they're just barely adults, and she's been going up there for a while now,
Yeah.
would kind of like a diary. Maybe she shared her life with this
I think so.
Yep.
creature,
I think
and
so.
that the end of that night that she thought she was betrayed by the one she loved was the one to the way to that thing that stirred Mog out of her sleep. And maybe it was Daisy who was just like who couldn't live with the grief of knowing that she's been betrayed. So, and now this is what I think though. But like,
My working theory is that something happened to Daisy up there and Old Mog came to life.
So you think it's Daisy? You think Mog is getting revenge for Daisy?
I think so, but it doesn't quite make sense because Daisy was
but
missing
also,
liver parts too, so like it doesn't quite add up. So I'm unsure.
Why take another child too? Right?
yeah,
Like
the taking of another child is interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't get it. I don't get it. And there's still that weird traveler, dude. For all I know, that traveler was just like taking a bath and then he just got caught up in a hailstorm and then he died. Like
nobody knew who that dude was, too, right?
No.
He
Nope.
could.
Not
just
from
a
around
random,
here.
just a
Nobody
He
rando.
could have literally been in there. You're right. He could have been there.
He could have just taken a bath, or no, I think
rando.
he could have just slipped, on some ice patch and then just drowned, like hit his head and drowned. Like
it's very interesting.
Weird. It's weird. It's just weird that nobody knew who he was. That's like some rando guy
He's a
happens to
traveler.
be
Well,
there.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, he was heading north, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be a red herring. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. I got no idea.
Isn't this, Amber? This is so like off screen. We're playing a Call of Cthulhu scenario that I wrote. And it is like the greatest pleasure of doing these sorts of things is just watching people not know what the fuck's going on and like how close they are.
Or not know that they know what the fuck is going on. Or they just fucking missed it. Like they were so close and then they just turned right away from it,
I feel like I feel like I usually have like a fairly decent idea. I have like no idea this time. Like,
there's like one thing that's killing me because like I know one of you should have caught it and you didn't. And I'm like, no, I feel like you would figure out so much if you just caught the thing that I thought you were gonna catch and you didn't. I'm like,
oh no.
When you figure it out, you're gonna kick yourself.
That means I'm gonna have to go back.
People always either catch they always either never catch the thing you like hope and want them to catch.
There's only one of you that would have caught this though. Only one of you.
That means it's Riley.
Also like never
out of
they'll
game.
like make these they'll like make these logical leaps that like fucking like are amazing, and you're like, how did you ever figure that out so fast?
Yeah.
And you guys kind of did one of those in the Cthulhu game. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
I'm wondering like if it's also cut because like our Twitch god's not here.
Nothing happens to our whiter.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that at all. Yeah, Amber told me that one, and I was like, "What? What do you mean?" And then she told me, and I was like, "Christian, keep saying it. I've never heard it before, and now I heard it 100 times."
But yeah, I'm wondering if like I missed, I may have missed something because I've been like half modding with Twitch because Sarah's been gone, so I've been monitoring the Twitch stream more than I usually do. So, but I'll have to go back.
How many folks are in Twitch right now?
No idea.
6.
I think we've got 6 or 7. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, you bold few have stayed up super late with us. Something I kind of want to implement during this game, Twitch viewers, is when folks take time to research in a library, if you want to throw out some of your guesses as to what's going on or little hints about your own guesses, that could be random stuff that they read. May be helpful, may completely throw them off.
Oh,
but
heck
it's
yeah, that's
other
awesome.
shit that they read while researching something. Feel free
I like
to drop a fun fact about a mythological creature that you might be thinking of during our mystery or something.
As a matter of
Feel
fact,
free to also lie and throw out something that you don't suspect and just try to throw them off.
Here
People read
you
all
go.
kinds of stuff.
We had one of the first ones here. Gerbo the Druid put earlier on when Rosalie was talking about the cudgel. So there's the cudgel, the blessing used to create the cudgel, or something from Glastonbury, since that's the center of Arthurian and Avalonian myth. So really, we just need to go to Glastonbury and get something. Literally anything. We'll just get like a fucking go and buy a pan.
I would definitely suggest because like Amber doesn't monitor the Twitch stream. She doesn't come onto Twitch. Anyone who's
all
listening,
my energies into DMing or into being a troll in our own private chat while other people are DMing.
Anyone who wants to email us suggestions of hints or red herrings that like we can give to Amber, that she can just like have that list to throw in every now and then. You can
even put in the subject for Amber's eyes only, so they don't open and read the email, and just like send it to me if you've got little ideas for red herrings or a fun bit of folklore I can drop here or there to throw them off or put them on course, depending on
don't
where
throw
your
us off because we're lost already. We're totally lost. Please don't throw us off.
I like the idea of the interactive, like, oh, they're in a library. Whenever they're in a library and researching, I will remind folks from now on, be like, hey, folks, if you have a line idea, fun fact or two that might be in line with your own suspicions of what is going on here, or wildly opposed to it, feel free to drop it. People read all kinds of stuff.
I will say,
very cool.
And this, I think, the second to last thing before we maybe wrap up this mystery is we haven't done any experience points.
Holy fuck, we have not done any experience points. Oh, we do them at the end of the mystery. Never mind.
It's at the end of the set. Nope, it's at the end of each session.
No, it is the end of the mystery because I'm
reading it right now.
Oh, but the questions are like,
maybe the end of
take an item? Oh, it's a group one. There's a group house
set of
one.
Questions for the building. That's what I might be thinking of.
So there is.
That's fair.
I just happened to look at it because I was looking up mementos just to kind of read that again. And it's at the end of each session. The players gain experience points. The game master asks the questions in the text box. There are 8 questions.
Okay.
And we get one per.
Read them now, Kent.
Question.
Read them now, Kent.
I'm going through because this is also something we didn't go over because it is a game mechanic.
That's fair.
Hold your horses. You'll get your goddamn XP.
But with this game, like most of the
each session, I have it right on my quick reference sheet that I printed and have not referenced.
Like most of the games in this that use this style, we get to purchase something, a talent, increase our skills with every 5 experience we get. So
you may have been better at things. I've hobbled you.
Nah.
It's a hard game.
Basically, though, like there's a chance that maybe each session we only get one experience because the first question is, did you participate in the session?
Yep.
Now,
so technically we get 2.
or would this be 3?
This is our third
The
session.
first one was session. Oh yeah,
this is our
3.
third actual
This is
session.
our third actual session.
Actual
So
session.
yeah.
The first session is session 0.
Boom,
Did we do
boom, boom.
anything at all in session 0? Not really.
We did like
We did a little bit, but no, I wouldn't
yeah.
count session
No, I
0.
wouldn't
Yeah,
count
we
that.
didn't
No.
do the funeral
Okay.
even in session 0. No,
No,
it was
we-
Super Short,
we-
right? Or was the
we did
funeral
the funeral.
in session?
Did do
We did do
funeral.
the
It was.
funeral.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't count it though.
I wouldn't
Okay.
count it. That's fine.
Okay, we won't count session 0. So
Yeah.
Everybody think back, far back to many weeks ago to the first real session.
Did we participate? All of us.
Everybody
Yes.
participated.
Yes, we did.
So we've participated each session, so we at least get 3 experience.
Yep, we're gonna do session at a time, as we recall. So everybody 1 point for session 1 so far. Next question for session 1: did you confront any Vaesen?
Nope.
Nope.
Did you
2.
identify any unknown Vaesen?
Nope.
Nope.
Were you
Mog.
affected by your dark secrets?
Nope.
Oh, I was like, Riley's
Did
pausing.
you take risks to protect other people? First session.
No.
First session, no.
No.
Have you learned anything?
First session,
First
definitely not.
No.
No.
No. Did you develop something in your headquarters? Nope. That really only comes into play at the wrap-ups.
Yep.
And did you perform an extraordinary action?
Nope.
Now, what would you say, Amber, qualifies as an extraordinary action?
I think
Basically something that it's just something that impresses, right? Like if there's a moment, like whether it's role playing and you've done like a character movement or something like that, where everybody's like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, so would Troy get that maybe?
Troy would get
that's
that
what
for
I
the
mean, like,
second
we're-
session.
Yeah, Troy should get that
Maybe
for the
Troy
second
would get
session
that.
for
second
Ronaldo.
session, or
Yeah.
if you even if like the dice fall a certain way, you attempt something crazy and it goes like in a crazy direction, and everybody's like, "I can't believe that fucking worked," or "I can't believe you're not dead," like, and I can't believe this moment.
Okay.
Whether that be like an action, a heroic action, or something that you performed, or like just something for your character where it's like a heel turn, where everybody's like, "I was not expecting that," or like that cost them something, or that shows an incredible growth or change in direction in you, or something like that.
All right. Just as a
Yeah, I would
benchmark for the future.
I'm keeping track for Troy. So would you say?
I would say Troy
I would say he gets
for
that
last
for the
session.
second session.
Yeah,
yes,
because
okay.
Because
So
we
he-
all
So
were
that's
like,
session 2.
Yeah.
For session 2.
Yeah, so that's
Session
session
2.
2.
Did you
Yeah.
participate in the session? Everybody gets a yes.
Yep.
Including Troy. Did you confront any Vaesen?
No.
Negative.
Nope.
Identifying Vaesen? Negative.
Nope.
Were you affected by your dark secret?
Nope.
Mm,
Hmm.
nope.
Yet.
No.
Did you
no.
take risks to protect other people?
No.
Not-
Yeah.
No.
Have you learned anything?
No, we didn't really do much in the second session.
Did you develop something HQ, and did you perform an extraordinary action?
Troy would definitely get the extraordinary action for
Yeah,
session
that was
2.
that was a hell of a
Yeah.
speech to connect
Yes.
there and get to
Mhm.
Billy. So we'll give Troy that one.
And maybe question 6 for Troy too.
What was question 6?
Have you learned anything?
We'll come back and ask Troy himself. That would with the "have you learned anything?" That to get that you have to tell us what you
Yes,
have
and
learned.
and with the second
And that
question
can
is
be
what-
something like having uncovered some sort of like fact or what you perceive to be a fact. Learn something is something that changes your view of something. It's like it's an important thing you've learned. It has changed your view of the supernatural world in some way, or the world itself, or it has changed
so
your
it
view
has
about
your
people,
character-
or your view
has your
about
character
yourself.
learned something. Okay,
Yes.
okay, okay.
Character learning.
Yes.
All right.
And it's going to be like kind of more important to the story than like a mere fact sort of thing.
Gotcha.
It's
Okay.
like we learn facts every day. This is something that like
Vaesen are dangerous. Our
predicates
lives are at
growth
risk.
in some way
Yeah.
of outlook
Yeah.
or belief.
Yeah.
Okay, session 3. That's today. Did you participate in the session?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Did you confront any Vaesen?
No.
Close.
Yeah. Did you identify an unknown Vaesen?
No.
Mm,
Mog.
You're very close.
Very close.
Yeah.
We're not quite exactly sure what type of Vaesen it is. We've got a name, but that's not
Oh,
quite good enough.
Were you affected by your dark secret?
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Take risks to protect other people.
I would give that to Riley.
I would give that to Riley also. It didn't turn
Yeah.
out to be him
Yep.
getting mauled to death, but it easily could have been going into that cave
Yep.
with
Yeah.
nothing but Tom behind
okay.
you.
Sure.
Yeah. Because it was very
It's
much
take
just
risk,
like
not necessarily suffer loss. That has to be a very real risk where you are standing and that
Sure.
you took, regardless of how it turned out.
Sure.
Have you learned anything?
No, technically not.
Not yet.
not character wise.
Develop in your HQ? No.
Nope.
Or perform an extraordinary action?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
We concur.
You were close, I think, Nora. Like, I think your speech is right on the line of getting the rabble. I don't know how hard of a role that is to get to talk everyone and calm the group down. That could go either way, that one.
I also didn't roll well. I had 9 dice and I only got 2 6s.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't like an oh shit moment. I mean, it saved a lot of heartache, but it wasn't a damn moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh shit. Like,
Yep.
fucking Ronaldo. Ronaldo also, like, just in character, like in role play, made it like a really, really good argument that was very, like, well crafted and deep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We finally caught up on XPs. I'm a good DM.
You're a great DM. You're a great
Yeah,
DM.
so we will wrap up this adventure next session. Almost definitely, I see the final confrontation on the horizon. Depending on how long that final confrontation takes, we may or may not go into the HQ development phase. I feel like we probably won't make it there. In Vaesen, technically, it's supposed to work in 2 parts, right? You do the mystery, and then before the true end of the mystery, you do the mini game, the
manor building.
Yeah, you do your headquarters development, and also your I don't know what they're called in the game off the top of my head, but they're like repercussions. So there's a chance as you develop your headquarters and go about that, like your lives in London, in the city there, come and fuck with you in some ways. A reporter hears about something and harasses you. Someone from your past shows up, like complications occur in the city. I prefer to run those at the beginning of sessions rather than at the end of mysteries.
That's
it
fine.
makes sense to me that way. So we'll probably finish the mystery, pause, take a break for a one shot while I gather things together, and then we open with complications in London before the threat of the next mystery.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah. That's when I get to mess with your lives and all of the knives that you have handed me and things and stuff. So
Yeah.
delightful.
Yep.
Delightful. Cool. I guess I'm doing the thing. Kent, do you have something to say?
I was just saying, I've at being a friend of Amber for so long, I've just learned to hand her all the knives I can at the beginning.
Yeah, I did. I gave her a lot of knives. Literally, in some instances. Yeah, all right. That's Vaesen session 3. We're still probably really screwed, and everyone in Brancombe is probably going to die. So yeah. In the meantime, if you have any cool ideas you want to email for Amber's Eyes Only, feel free to send that to dmsafterdark@gmail.com. Mark it for Amber's Eyes Only, and usually it's either me or Rainey who checks the email. So if I see something that says for Amber's Eyes Only, I'll just tell Rainey to forward it to her, and that way, like, I won't have seen it, and I will preserve my innocent eyes. You can find us anywhere you want on any social media. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, all those cool places as DMs After Dark. So feel free certainly to follow us or reach out there. We have a really cool new episode of Modified Roles coming up pretty soon that Troy and Rainey recorded with someone we met at a local con, which I'm pretty excited about like role-playing games as therapy. She does something called Geek Therapy, which she helps people as a therapist, and she uses role-playing games to do that. And I think that's really fascinating. So that'll be a cool thing to listen to. Also, be sure to check out Rainey Plays Games, Rainey's own podcast about exactly what it sounds like, Rainey playing games. He's still doing his Sundered Isles, Iron Sworn Sundered Isles, and he has got new things coming every Tuesday. So next Tuesday there'll be something out from that. This will be up on Facebook the latest Monday, probably before that, probably Sunday, because I've been doing it on Sundays just to get it up on YouTube. Yes, not Facebook. not Facebook, YouTube.
I gotcha.
The other godless corporation that mines us for information. YouTube. It'll be up there. So check it out along with all of our other stuff. We just got a comment the other day from Honor and Intrigue. Someone was like watching it for the first time. And it was so cool. To, like, it's so
I
cool
can't
to get,
believe
like,
there
old
are
comments.
still comments for Honor and Intrigue. It's
Honor
so crazy to me.
Got some comments, and
Put
there was a
the
comment
rocks
on one of the
in your
Rune
mouth,
Quest,
Honor and
which
Intrigue.
really
Oh
made
my
me happy.
gosh.
Yeah, it was about someone who was playing Honor and Intrigue for the first time and like Googled it
game.
and wanted to see how the game was played, right?
Oh god.
Which was really cool. And then there was a really nice comment on the shaman, Chimesa's shaman initiation, that episode.
Nice.
Someone being like, I'm running this next session. I wanted some ideas. So that always makes
That's
me really
awesome.
happy when we get those sorts of things, because it's like we're helping.
I mean, yours is much better than mine because like I didn't
Jess,
do
shut the fuck
anything.
up. You
Well,
were
no.
awesome.
I just
Like-
mean, no. I think the game went well. I just think rules wise for Honor and Intrigue, I didn't do much technical stuff,
Dude,
you know?
It's
more like
we're,
you're
we're
in-
a mechanic light group. Like we tend to
Yeah.
role play too.
But-
Even here, like
I was gonna say
there's
this
a lot
was more like your
roles that are
Invisible
called for and
Sun
stuff, but
game.
It slows things down, and I just like am here for you figuring things out through role playing organically too. You know.
There's also a nice thing with this that does say it's like if a player looks at something specific, just give it to them instead of having them roll.
I'm gonna
Right.
make you roll
sure.
to notice the dead grass that you specifically told me you were looking for. That is like right there.
You don't
You know?
see the grass is dead. To
Right.
you, it is bright and green and flourishing.
Yeah. Well, that's like, there's always, mysteries have always been the hardest thing to role play, specifically for those reasons.
Yeah, right. The
So
clues,
it's,
being
there's a lot of,
dependent.
I'm a big fan of the gumshoe method of like, when I make my own scenarios, it's always like, these are the clues you're going to find. You are going to find this regardless of if you roll well or not. This is what you're going to find. And then like good rolls and exceptional like role play will get you more information, but you're always going to get enough information to get you to the next thing. Because otherwise, if you don't, everybody just kind of like, people just start going off in their own directions and you don't, the game falls down.
Vaesen has a nice approach to that too. And Vaesen, like the guide instructs you, like if there's like an integral piece of information that they need for the mystery and they fail the roll, have them find it, but have a complication occur.
Yeah,
Like,
that's perfect. Yeah,
that's cool.
You find it, but like now, fuck, this thing is happening.
Yeah.
Like,
that's cool.
I'm a big fan of failing forward in like any game for almost any reason. I love failing forward as an idea. But so I did all the stuff about where you can find us. So please find us there if you want to. If you haven't already, always feel free to reach out and say hi. We love hearing from you. Nothing in particular coming up exciting. Actually, between now and our next session, there will be a pretty cool thing coming out on our Redbubble of some new merchandise. But that's all I'm going to say right now.
it's so cool.
Yes, it's very cool. And that's all we have. So until next time, butter your scones. I don't know.
No.
Have a great night. Good night,
Until
everyone.
next time, get revenge on the priest that turned you into stone. Don't take no shit from no man.
Truth. Good night, all.